this is amazing. I was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Water.
For the first time here for season 3. Davis on pole, Vanderkran in second. It's going to be sprint round action here tonight. Let's go racing here at Daytona. It was a good start there from Davis in comparison to Vanderkran in behind. Cowan's absolutely bogged it up and already dropped out of the top 3 here as they come down towards turn 1 for the first time. There's biffing and barging between Gallen and Cowan. These guys are still going at it after last season. They survived for this time by though. Through turn 2 and 3 they come. Nice and clean, boys. Keep it up as they come up to...
I love riding. It's a real social thing. There's a great bond between riders.
Every weekend I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other.
Riding to work is a great way to start the day.
Shannons insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. They offer features riders really want. It's why they're one of Australia's leading motorcycle insurance providers.
Whatever you ride,
Whatever you ride,
Whatever you ride,
ride with Shannons.
Call 134646 for a quote.
Through turn 1, it was a horrible start from De Bono, who's absolutely bogged it up and gets eaten alive by Dixon and Gowans as they come on through. Through turn 1 they come, and they all spread out around in towards the first sector of the Silverstone circuit. They look all right at the moment. Okay, there's already been a car spun round. That's Jordan Ferguson off wide.
Is green, green, green at Road Atlanta here as well. Faulkner did get away. De Bono is tucked in as well. Unfortunately, Houghton is on that outside line. De Bono does want to tell him to do. He's got the job. De Bono's overtaken. Now can he get Ben Faulkner up through turns 2 and 3? They go round the right-hander, dropping down the hill. Faulkner's out in front. De Bono second. Houghton third. Ratcliffe in fourth. No real dramas going into turn 1.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannons,
We've also got Shannon's home and contents cover.
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be.
Shannon's.
Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 134646 for a quote.
This is amazing. I was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because tell you what. Bruce Tannock and Jamie Dyke just absolutely drove away from us. Hayden trying to go around the outside. This is where he could have just sent it up the inside, but he hasn't committed, which is fair enough. It's very scary out there, ladies and gentlemen. You know, when you can see the good run, God's just absolute think about it. It's a really nice move. Blake Delaney had to move out of the way.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Sim Racing World TV. Welcome into the Wide About Tools V8 Supercars series here on Tuesday nights for Season 3, round number 6 here out at Sandown International Motor Raceway. I'm your commentator here tonight, Hamish Munro, joined this time by Stefanie Piccoli. Unfortunately, Sinker was too ill to join us here on the Tuesday night. So we've got Steph in, who's done, I think, 3 Supercars races in SRW prior to this. So you got some experience, Steph. But Enduro action tonight means we have qualifying, top 10 shootout, and then 80 minutes of racing around my favourite Australian track on the IRacing service in Sandown. Could you think of a better way to spend a Tuesday night?
No. This is the best way to spend a Tuesday night. Sandown has to be one of my favourite tracks. I'm actually a little bit bummed I'm not on track tonight. It will be awesome racing. Sandown always puts on a show. It's the best spot to be tonight.
Well, it's such a tough circuit, especially for 80 minutes of racing. The aim of the game here at this track is to hit those curbs with absolute perfection. Hang on for dear life as you do so and hope you don't end up off the track, and just try and stay as tightly condensed as possible with the rest of the pack. You cannot afford to go a lap down here, because if you don't get a safety car, you'll never get an opportunity back at getting up the order throughout this race. So it's going to be imperative that drivers can keep it clean, keep it tight, but also keep themselves consistent as well. They're quick lap times, Steph. They're just under minute 10 lap times, you know, between 106s at the top end down to the 110s at the back end. The laps are going to fly by very, very quickly. It's a short lap. It's over within a blink of an eye, but so can the race if you make a mistake.
Yeah, Sandown is being a short. It's a short track, so it will be very quick. Any little mistake, can put you into the wall around here as well, and that will definitely set you back quite a fair bit. Somewhere where you don't want to be tonight. You want to keep it on the black stuff or the island, and keep on the lead lap, because if you fall back, it's going to be very difficult to get that back again. I
think what's also going to be important is if you have an early penalty come your way, such as jumping the start, getting an iRacing black flag, if you're already at the back of the field, that's only going to hurt you so much more. You're going to come out right ahead of the leaders, and you're going to be at risk of being under blue flags and then going the lap down, which is going to be one of the harder things for drivers to contest with. Not only that, though, they have to contest with the fact that they're going to be racing for 80 minutes around here, which is a tough task if you have not got the practice in, because you can try and go balls to the wall as much as you like to try and set lap times, but to do those laps consistently around this place, it almost feels impossible at times.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy for the guys tonight. As fun as it is, and as much of a good track it is, it's going to be difficult. But hey, it is what it is. They sign up for it.
The drivers, they've accepted the challenge. They have accepted the challenge, of racing around here for 80 minutes. But it's going to be a little while till we get to the race start here tonight, because we have got not only qualifying to get through, but also the top 10 shootout as well. So that's probably going to take up an hour of our time, and then we're going to get into the race, which is going to be a task in itself. So we've got a good little hour, for obviously the qualifying, the shootout. We get a chance to chat to some of the drivers amongst the shootout as well after they've done their lap. It's going to be a good time tonight. I know that drivers, even myself, we've said, maybe no shootout on a Tuesday night. It is fun, though, to call the shootout. We don't get to do it that often. I think, we've mentioned before, if we ever did a proper Enduro, like a 500, we'd want it to be over a weekend, over 2 days, so you can have qualifying and the shootout on the Saturday, and then have the race on Sunday. So I think it's good in that sense. But we'll see what happens here tonight for these drivers. Qualifying is about to get underway, and we're going to see what it's like around this track for these supercars. I've done some laps this week. It's tough. It's tough around here.
It is. Sandown is tough. It's an awesome track. But it is definitely not that easy. It looks easy on paper.
It does. It looks incredibly easy on paper. Oh, of course, SDK has decided to have a little bit of a history right as qualifying is getting going. That's fine though. We can fix it very, very quickly and swiftly. Already got a couple of chats out there as well. BG36 saying if they rounded some corners we'd have an oval. Well, we wouldn't be too far away. Scotty Weston in the chat, unfortunately not racing tonight. Making his way back to his home in WA. So hopefully we can see you back on track next week. Scotty and Sean Benici as well. Getting into the chat with us too, Steph. So big night of racing on offer, as we mentioned. Qualifying's getting underway. It's going to be, you know, this right now, I think this is one of the more imperative moments of this race tonight, is getting that qualifying done and getting a positive qualifying for yourself. Even if you're just etching inside the top 10, you do not want to be in the mid-pack or towards the back of the field, because you are going to get caught up in incidents almost guaranteed to happen on this track, being so tight, so condensed, and such a short track as well. Plus, you want to be towards the front, because if you do get a penalty, you don't want to be going too far back in terms of your track positioning compared to the leaders, who could be going half a second faster than you on a regular lap.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not something you want to be doing around here. So being on the lead lap will be key tonight. That's for certain.
Well, we've already got drivers out there setting their first times in qualifying as they begin them. Andrew Cowan's out on track. He's getting ready to set some quality pace for himself in this qualifying session. We could see him inside the top 10 shootout later on in the piece. Matty Parker's out there this week as well. We'll see what he's got in his locker around this place. Brett Taylor. Well, this is now the time, Steph. Me and Sinker talk about it often. The last half of the season is whenever Brett Taylor somehow finds some form. Is tonight the turning point for him in his season, with 4 rounds to go, including tonight, and he starts to put a late charge up towards that Split 2 title? We will have to wait and see. Cars 40 and Cars 10, they've already got rear of grid starts for their license points, those being Di Feldman. Wait, is it Di Feldman? No, it's Mitch Noble, sorry. Those being Mitch Noble. And where's car 40 on the list? And Andrew Rushworth, so they'll be starting from the rear of the grid. PG36 in the comments saying, I have supplied race tyres to the V8s here in the past, and we used to have to run soft compounds on the left and harder on the right. Very interesting. Very, very interesting.
Something different.
Yeah. What is also interesting though is Andrew Rushworth is out on track, and he's supposed to have a rear of grid penalty. That means you cannot take part in qualifying. Sorry, no, he is in the pit stops. His teammates on track, I do believe.
Brad Hayes.
Yes, it is Brad Hayes. Yes, he's in a Commodore this week, running that retro round. That of course Andrew will be running in Vets later this week. So we will be seeing some retros out on track. Although Andrew has just come out on track, so maybe he's going to deliberately get dirty laps so he goes to the back. I don't know, but we will see some retros out here tonight. There is a retro round this week for another league in V8 Veterans, so there are some drivers out there rocking some retros as the times are coming in quick and fast already. Jamie Davis has already gone to the top of the timing sheets with a 107.09. And unfortunately for him, Steph, we mentioned it on Friday from his incident, he has received his 10th license point, but it was given to him as of today. So he is able to race tonight, but his round ban will begin tomorrow as of August 21st. So unfortunately, it was also his 9th race in a row, the equivalent of a full season. So if he hadn't have had that incident, he would have gained some license points back, but unfortunately he did get involved in one, and now we'll see himself on the sidelines for another week ahead.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. With him getting the license point there. He's probably lucky he can race tonight. But yeah, look, not ideal. You don't want to be popping license points if you can help it.
Well, they have also mentioned that any that he accrues tonight will go towards his total anyway, so he still needs to be a good boy and try to not get any. What it also means though is the likes of Di Feldman, Andrew Rushworth, they also need to be careful because they're on wood, towards the 10 license points, since they have got a rear grid for their license points currently as well. So they're not too far away themselves. Car 686 rear grid start for their license points. That is going to Mr. Blake Fitzpatrick. So he will unfortunately be starting from the back of the grid here tonight due to his license points as well. So, I mean, that means that we've already lost one of the big competitors for the top 10 shootout tonight, Steph, in Blake Fitzpatrick. And he's going to have the tough job of making it from the back of the grid to the front. But luckily for him, he has got 80 minutes to do it.
Yeah, it is a while, but hopefully we can, he can get it up there and keep it on track, keep it on the lead, like we've said, and get a decent result out of it.
Tell you what, I have been
Anything can happen.
Oh, anything can happen. Anything can happen out there, especially around Sandown. Any little mistake can find you in the wall or in the sand or in the grass as well. It is such a tough track to find your way around consistently across those 80 minutes as well. One driver, though, who I've been quite impressed with this last couple of weeks, Jason Douglas. Great to see him back in the sim, great to see him back in the series. And he's been firing on all cylinders these last couple of weeks. Fuji, he had an absolutely mega run. We'll see if he can put it all together here tonight at Sandown as well. Billy Mole, well, he has been an absolute revelation once again this season, rocking the Brock Retro this week for Nova Sim Sports. I don't mind it with the old Pro Plumbing Supplies stuff on the side of it. Michael Schroeder is out there as well as Matty Parker. We mentioned Mark Houghton, Michael's teammate, just getting a nice tidy little toe off him as well. Blake is now on track, but we'll see if they're going to let him do laps and deliberately get off tracks. John Gallen, we saw it on Sunday night, rocking the old HRT livery with the Pelican on it instead of the Lion. I don't mind it, actually, for a bit of a retro. Yeah. Making it your own. I can appreciate it. I believe his teammate, Peter Pavovic, is also running the same livery on his car. He is indeed. Brett Taylor does not have his retro on tonight. Brad Wall, well, you'd call it a retro, but it's what he actually runs every single week, so he's always on retro round mode.
That's right. Just, bit of a background on the Team Apex livery also. It's based on the 1984 Alan Grice.
This is true. This is very, very true. And I got to say, it does actually translate quite nicely to the Commodore. It translates very well. I reckon this would also look nice on the Mustang as well. I think it's a nice, simple livery. Although, I'm a little bit disappointed they did not continue the gold down to the front of the headlights. There's a little bit of white there. I don't know about that.
I'll get on the Brad for that one.
Yep, that's...
Throw him under the bus.
Yep, exactly. Cowie, no retro for him this week, so he's got his regular colours, of course. Craig Healy, the sole East-West Racing driver out on track. Scotty Weston could not be here tonight. Daniel Clutterbuck is out there. And we still have, me and Singer mentioned in the past couple of weeks, we have not seen Daniel Clutterbuck and Michael Quash, the teammates from TMX, we've not seen them on track together this season. One of them has raced either round, but neither of them are raced in the same round.
Yeah, it's, you'd think, sort of teammates, you'd try and sort of, tee it up where you're both racing at the same time. Try and help each other out a little bit on track. But, obviously other commitments have gotten in the way of that, which is unfortunate.
It happens quite often enough. We have got a couple of debutants tonight, Wade Sheeny and Sean Rigby on screen at the moment. I do believe they are teammates as they are running the same livery but just different colours. They've been both put into the Split 1 class, which I think is actually fair for Wade, seeing as he's P2 at the moment and locked into the shootout. We'll see how Sean goes here tonight and if he's able to lock his spot into Split 1 or if he were to get demoted. Martin Lipsky as well, he's out on track with us tonight. Been struggling a little bit in the supercar this season, has Martin, Steph, but I think I think he has got, there are some moments of opportunity of improvement for him, I think, going forward. He has got some skills in his locker, and I think just more time in the sim, more time in the car, he will get more and more comfortable in it. But that's just one of the toughest things, especially with life and family. It's hard to get that dedicated time in this car to really improve it at a rapid rate.
It is. It's one of the hardest games on here. Oh, sorry, one of the hardest cars on here. To work around. So, seat time is what matters. So if you don't get that seat time in a supercar, you're sort of falling behind the rest of them, which is not ideal. You sort of want to be up there.
Yeah, and like it's such a competitive form of racing, especially here in Australia as well. It's almost whitewashed with the amount of quality drivers there are in this car at top level specifically. You know, you look at the Logitech Pro Series, you look at Scops, you look at our Sunday Series. Some of the best drivers in Australia race in those race series, and they're all at top level. Some of them are better than others. You know, you look at Sandown, arguably the best Australian supercars sim racer out there. You know, it's amazing the skill gap between top level and just starting out. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's chalk and cheese, really, when you look at it. You know, from when you're starting out to a bit further on, it's Well, I take my hats off to these guys running these cars, because honestly, it's not easy, and I know I would be in the wall a lot.
Well, one thing
I'll stick to my 86s.
They handle the wall a little bit better than these cars, don't they?
That's it.
Well, we have got 4 minutes left of regular qualifying ahead of us, ladies and gentlemen. This is how we currently stand looking ahead to the top 10 shootout tonight. We have Jason Douglas currently pole position with Jamie Davis, Wade Sheedy in behind. Billy Moll, Peter Pavlovic make up the top 5. Matty Parker, Blake Fitzpatrick, Michael Schroeder, Mark Houghton are the top 9. They are also the top 9 pro cars, and Mick Clifton is currently inside the top 10 as a split 2 driver. The only one on the bubble, the only 2 drivers on the bubble that could make it in at the moment for split 1 is John Gallen, who's in P12, and Andrew Cowan, who's in, John Gallen P11, Andrew Cowan, who's in P13 at the moment. So those guys are on the bubble to get in for split 1. Brett Taylor's also on the bubble for split 2 as well. So we could see a split 2 appearance in the shootout tonight. I don't know how likely it is with some of this pace, as Mole goes P2 on the timing tower with a 106.99. So the times are coming in quick, they're coming in fast. We've got a little bit of time left here. I don't believe they'll get cut off at the 15 minutes because it's not a sprint round. And even though it is the shootout, they should at least be able to finish their laps after the 15 minutes as long as they've started them. But we got a nice sized grid out here. We've got 30 cars on track tonight, Steph, for Sandown. Personally, peak grid size for this track. 30 is perfect for Sandown.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't want too many more. Being a short track, you sort of, you'll have your leader on the back of the field if you had any more. But yeah, look, it's definitely a good size, decent size field for tonight's race. It should be good racing and some entertainment.
Well, just over 2 minutes left in qualifying. So if drivers are going to get out there and get some times in, they want to get out there now to try and improve on their position on the timing tower. They'll have the opportunity, if they cross the line right now, to get 2 more laps in qualifying. Matty Parker's done well. He's P6 on the road at the moment. Mick Clifton's not on track. We'll see if he does rejoin the track. John Gallen, though, all eyes on him. He wants to get some good points here tonight, Stephanie's championship battle, but he also wants to try and get this thing inside the top 10 so he can try and improve upon his qualifying performance here in initial qualifying.
Yeah, he's going to want to try and, get his lead and, get ahead of the field there. So he'll be going for hell for leather, that's for sure.
Well, only an opportunity.
I don't see him holding back tonight.
I don't. He loves a Tuesday night battle. He loves a Tuesday night race. And he gets out there and goes. He does. He goes all guns blazing when he can. But he is a very patient and talented operator. Behind the wheel of a supercar is John Gallen. He's trying anything he can to improve this lap time. He's even got his teammate Peter Pavlovic giving him a tow down the back straight in towards Dandenong Road. Down through the gears into the braking zone of this corner. One of the easiest corners to make a mistake at. Low speed, can easily run it wide. Off the exit now, down towards the final complex of Sandown. He'll have 1 more lap in him here, Steph, because he will cross the line before the 15 minutes is up. But currently at the moment, he is not up on his previous best and he's not inside the top 10.
Yeah, it's, he'd probably be disappointed with that not hitting his.
In saying that, sorry
best.
to interrupt, his last sector was an absolute blitz. He's gone P7 on the road. Prior to him crossing the line, Michael Schroeder had made it in. Andrew Cowan had made it inside the top 10 and actually knocked Mick Clifton out. who's now going to have one final run of getting his Split 2 Mustang inside the top 10. We'll sit with him here for the end of qualifying, Seth, to see if he does make it. Current top 10, Jason Douglas, Billy Mole, Jamie Davis, Wade Sheedy, Peter Pavlovic, Matty Parker, John Gallen, Andrew Cowan, Blake Fitzpatrick and Michael Schroeder makes up the top 10. Mark Houghton is on the bubble at the moment and he is on track, as is this man, his teammate Mick Clifton, as he comes up to turn 4. Another one of the tough corners on this track. Got to try and maximise the exit to get the best run, I should say. That's losing the words. Best run down the back straight, because you want to try and get up to that 6th gear as quickly as possible to maximise the speed into the braking zone at the top of the hill down towards Dandenong Road.
You do. Exit speed, corner speed, carrying momentum through the corners on this track is crucial.
Up towards the final couple of corners now for Mick Clifton. It's going to have to be a last sector dash for him here if he wants to get it inside the top 10. Round through the final couple of corners now. Does Mick Clifton make the shootout or not? Is he going to miss out? Barney's got the checkered on the track. He's gone P8. Unbelievable from Mick Clifton. He's knocked out Michael Schroeder, who's not even on track. We now look at Brett Taylor. He's missed out. Brad Walls mucked it up at turn 1. And now it's only Clutterbuck who could possibly sneak his way in, but he is all the way back in P21, Steph. That'd be one hell of a gain if he were to make it inside the top 10.
Yeah, it's gonna be it'll have to be a almost a lap of the gods of Greg Murphy style around Bathurst to get up there potentially. Looking at the times.
I don't know if that run through Dandenong Road was as good as he would have hoped for turn 9.
No.
Round through 12 and 13 for the final time, and he's been cut off, unfortunately. So the top 10 has been decided here in the initial qualifying. We will be moving over to a new session to do the shootout here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. These guys will have their own little race to run through. We will quickly run up our provisional qualifying results as follows. It was Jason Douglas to Billy Mole, Jamie Davis, Wade Sheedy, and then Peter Pavlovic making up the top 5. Matty Parker, John Gallen, Mick Clifton gets in for split 2. Blake Fitzpatrick, Andrew Cowan. Those will be the 10 drivers taking participation in the top 10 shootout here tonight. Michael Schroeder, Mark Houghton just missed out with Brett Taylor, Brad Wall, Stephen Martin for the top 15. Robert Crow, Brett Douglas, Craig Healy, Jacob Traynor for the top 19. Move back to Sean Rigby on debut. Daniel Clutterbuck, Mitch Noble, Scott Lefebvre, Brad Hayes, Jared Williams, Josh King, Di Feldman, Martin Lipsky and Brad Anderson at the back of the field, with Andrew Rushworth unable to set a time in qualifying due to a rear of grid penalty. But we're going to swap over to our top 10 shootout server now, ladies and gentlemen, and we will get in there and get rocking and rolling for this shootout as we wait for it to come up. And I'm just going to ask, Steph, have you managed to get your car cams loaded?
I've been playing around with it, so hopefully... I'm not sure if they're ready to go yet, if I'm completely honest.
Oh, well, that's all right. Oh, yeah, Blake has a rear of grid as well, actually. That's right. Blake Fitzpatrick has a rear of grid, so Michael Schroeder is actually inside the top 10 because they are able to set a manual grid for the Enduro.
Yes, they can.
So we're just awaiting the top 10 shootout session to go live. It'll be going live in just a moment's time. What a performance, though, by Mick Clifton to get inside the top 10, Steph. That was
crazy.
Unbelievable.
That was
Unbelievable by him. John Gallen as well. Both of them. Their last sectors really saved it for them on that run. Wade Sheedy on debut in the shootout for the first time as well. He could be a bit of a revelation here tonight in possibly being able to crack the egg a little bit and maybe change up the championship a little bit for some drivers. So we'll see how he goes out there. Jace Douglas, he was the fastest. Billy Mole, Jamie Davis, Pavlovic and Parker as well. Andrew Rushworth in the chat. Good luck to Mr. Gallen and Mr. Clifton in the shootout. We'll see how they go. So, yeah, I believe Michael Schroeder will be in the shootout here tonight, seeing as Blake Fitzpatrick does have a rear of grid penalty. All the drivers are in the briefing room. They'll be getting briefed by race control. Whoever will then be on their lap will go into our green room. We'll be able to have a chat to them after the race, or after their lap, I should say. Brad Hayes saying, I hear Rushworth held back. Apparently so.
I don't know. Did he have a choice?
I'm not 100% sure if he did or not, to be honest with you.
I don't know.
Yeah. Good luck,
That's
Gallen and
right.
Clifton top 10. So we will we'll see how they all go though in this shootout, ladies and gentlemen. We're just awaiting for the session to go live, so we can join it and we can get it through or for you through sight and sound as well. So it's not just the SRW Supercars radio show from myself and Steph for this one. What we will do is we'll move over to our countdown screen and we'll come back once the countdown or once we're into the session and everything's all loaded up. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back very, very soon with more action with the shootout to come in just a moment's time. So please get ready, get some popcorn, get yourself a drink as well and kick back and relax because the top 10 shootout's going to be starting in a couple of moments' time. Don't go anywhere.
This is amazing. I was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Moskin and Cam Water.
For the first time here for season 3. Davis on pole, Vanderkran in second. It's going to be sprint round action here tonight. Let's go racing here. Daytona was a good start there from Davis in comparison to Vanderkran in behind. Cowan's absolutely bogged it up and already dropped out of the top 3 here as they come down towards turn 1 for the first time. There's biffing and barging between Gallen and Cowan. These guys are still going at it after last season. They survived for this time by though. Through turn 2 and 3 they come. Nice and clean, boys. Keep it up as they come up to...
I love riding. It's a real social thing. There's a great bond between riders.
Every weekend, I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other.
Riding to work is a great way to start the day.
Shannons insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. They offer features riders really want. It's why they're one of Australia's leading motorcycle insurance providers.
Whatever you ride,
Whatever you ride,
Whatever you ride.
ride with Shannon's.
Call 134646 for a quote.
Through turn 1, it was a horrible start from De Bono. He's absolutely bogged it up and gets eaten alive by Dixon and Gowans as they come on through. Through turn 1 they come and they all spread out around in towards the first sector of the Silverstone circuit. They look all right at the moment. Okay, there's already been a car spun round. That's Jordan Ferguson offline.
Is green, green, green. Road Atlanta here as well. Faulkner did get away. De Bono is tucked in as well. Unfortunately, Houghton is on that outside line. De Bono does want to tell him to do. He's got the job. De Bono's overtaken. Now can he get Ben Faulkner up through turns for 2 and 3? They go round the right-hander, dropping down the hill. Faulkner's out in front. De Bono second. Houghton third. Ratcliffe in fourth. No real dramas going into turn 1.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird,
Oh, that's mine.
the Combi for when we want to get away, the XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannons,
We've also got Shannon's home and contents cover.
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be.
Shannon's.
Shannon's, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 134646 for a quote.
This is amazing. Up, it's clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because I'll tell you what, Bruce Tannock and Jamie Dyson just absolutely drove away from us. Hayden trying to go around the outside. This is where he could have just sent it up the inside, but he hasn't implemented it, which is fair enough. Very scary out there, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's see if we get a good run. God's just absolute thinker, but it is a really nice move. Blake Delaney had to move out of the way.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We've got the shootout action to come here in this session. The first driver that will be out on track will be Michael Schroeder, of course. We'll try and get as many angles as we possibly can on him here this evening. Thank you for your patience out there and waiting for us to return. Qualifying is about to begin, and Michael Schroeder will be the first car out on track. Remember, we've got 10 drivers out there who will have the opportunity to set their laps in qualifying this time by, as Michael is the first to get going out on this beautiful Sandown circuit. And I suppose, Steph, one thing that we can mention is this is now going to give, not only is it a massive pressure moment for them because they have the track to themselves, it's a massive concentration moment. Do you think this style with the Thompson shooter is actually going to favour those who might be in a league that does sole qualifying?
I think it will. It's very different being sole qualify and a group quali. So I think it will favour them. You know, with your officials and that sort of thing. If they're used to doing more officials, or there are some leagues out there that do sole quali. It will definitely benefit them.
So, just quickly, Steph, have you selected on Michael?
I did.
Yep, just change your camera to the in-car cam.
Oh, yeah.
So, the shootout for Mr. Schroeder is about to get underway, ladies and gentlemen, and he will have the opportunity at setting a time around this wonderful Sandown circuit. It's going to be full pace for Michael Schroeder, and to have an opportunity here tonight at Glory and finding himself on pole position. He's the first to have an attempt in this shootout here tonight as he comes across the line to start his lap. We'll see what the sectors are going to be for him over the piece as well. We'll see how he goes through turn one, Steph. One of the toughest ways to start the lap under this braking zone. If you muck it up here, it can wreck your whole lap.
Yeah, turn one, make or break, first sector. If you don't get it right, you're in trouble for the remaining of the lap.
As we see him come round turn four, looks nice and tidy at the moment for him. Of course, he sets a purple sector, being the first driver out on track for the shootout. Down the run towards turn six for the first time for Michael Schroeder. On board with him now, we can see the kind of run that he gets down into this corner. Hard on the brakes, and then the roller coaster ride down towards Dandenong Road. Hard braking zone as well. Another clutch corner that you need to make sure you get a good run through. That one, though, might be a little bit slow for him.
Yes, that might just be a smidge off there. Probably wasn't the exit that he wanted there.
Now through 11, 12 and 13. Michael Schroeder, the first driver to cross the line and finish his qualifying lap in the shootout. What's it going to be? It is going to be a 108.534. The question is, though, Steph, is it going to be good enough for him to make it towards the front end? We'll drag him in now for a quick chat. Mr. Michael Schroeder, how was that for you for the first lap in the shootout?
That was terrible, to be honest. Yeah, dropped time in basically all my sectors, so here's what it is. Move on. I'm sure it'll be a 10th place starting spot.
Well, mate, it's a tough gig trying to get a lap in and a one-shot lap in as well in this shootout, mate. I'm sure there were many, many nerves. Best of luck for the race. Thanks for coming and having a quick chat to us, and hopefully you get a good start from wherever you end up in this shootout.
Excellent, thanks guys, and I really want to thank you.
Very good, mate. Thank you. All right, Steph, let's swap it over to Cowie for your screen.
Yep.
Watch him attack his lap for the first time. comes down through turn 1. We'll see what it's like for him, and we will. Oh, big slide, though. Big slide, though, for him. Oh, my God, and he's had an off track, and that's going to be the lap done and dusted for Cowie, unfortunately. Oh, what a shame. What a shame for Cowie. That's over. He's starting P10.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy with that, Cowie. That's devastating for him. He could have potentially been further up the list. He'll be gutted.
Well, it's unfortunate there for Andrew Cowan, and I suppose one of the big things though that we can mention for this is that Schroeder, he has a benchmark down, right? He could get up the order just by drivers making mistakes and having off tracks. You know.
That's right. Yep.
So unfortunately for Cowie, he's going to come straight in the lane. We'll have a chat to him very, very quickly. Cowie, mate, unfortunate. It never really got going there after heading off track, and well, not what you want, mate, but at least you are in the 10.
Yeah, look, the car gripped really good in a T1, and I just got a little flick and maybe got up on that curb a little bit too high, but these things happen. As I said, I wasn't going to leave anything in the trunk. No, in the tank, I should say. I was going to have a go, and yeah, maybe just a little too hard. Shit happens.
Oh, mate, hopefully you can have a good run in this race and continue a good, strong run of form you've been having over these last couple of weeks.
Thanks, boys. Yeah, no, it's playing. See how we go. Should be an interesting race.
Very good, mate. Best of luck. Clifton is now the next driver out on track, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see how he goes across this lap for glory and gusto from the Accelerate Sim Racing driver. His teammate, Michael Schroeder, has already set a lap out there here tonight as he makes his way through turn 1 nice and cleanly. We'll see if he makes it through 2 and 3 as well. Does well there, Steph. So
it's very good.
You really got to feel for Cowie now off the back of that, because one simple mistake, you know, it's gone up in smoke for him. But Mick has had a strong start to this qualifying. The sole split 2 driver in the field in the top 10 shootout here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Every other split 2 driver did not make the top 10 as he comes down towards Dandenong Road on the brakes into the slow left-hander. That's a nice run through there. He may be on for a solid lap here.
He's looking good.
He is at the moment as he comes up towards the final sector of this track. It's been a good-looking lap from Mick. Round the final corner for him. What's it going to be when he crosses the line here in qualifying? Has it counted? It has. It's a 107.98, 0.6 of a second faster than his teammate Michael Schroeder. Mick Clifton, what a lap from you there, mate. Incredible job. A 107 there on the board, and a nice banker on the board as well, because well, if any other drivers make a mistake similar to what Cowie did, you could see yourself sitting pretty at the end of this one.
Yeah, cheers, Hamish. Yeah, it's a bit conservative, but got it together. No accidents, my first shootout.
Did well, Mick.
Mate, we're glad you did well on that one. And you did a really, really good job as the only split 2 driver out there as well, mate. Best of luck for the race. We'll see how you go, and hopefully you can get a good position out of this shootout.
Excellent. Thanks, people.
Thanks, mate.
Good luck for the race.
Cheers.
Well, your mate, Mr. John Gallen, is now out on track. Yeah. Steph having a good old crack here in qualifying as he comes up to cross the line. In his PER Commodore, he will now attack this Sandown circuit and up towards turn 1, where it can be all over so easily, so early on in the piece. Nicely done, but it's a massive flick, and he's in the wall! Oh my God.
He's devastated with that.
Is there a Moz, Steph, on Commodores at the moment?
It's starting to look like that, isn't it?
It really is. Like, it really, really is. We'll drag him in. Mr. Gallen, our hearts break for you on that one. Me and Steph have just assumed there might be something wrong with Commodores in this shootout at the moment, because that's twice now we've seen them just have a poor off track. Mate, how are you feeling going into the lap, though, prior to that happening?
Well, I thought I was ready. Yeah, just obviously I just didn't get enough heat into those front tyres and didn't quite get it to turn where I wanted it to. And, yeah, just gassed it up on that ripple strip, and spun me around. So, oh well, it is what it is. What can you do?
Unfortunate, mate. Well, you done well in regular qualifying to get it inside the top 10. You will start from the top 10 in this race. Best of luck for the 80-minute enduro to come. Bad luck in the piece for the shootout, mate. Hopefully you can keep yourself together and just have a strong run in this race.
Yeah, thanks, Hamish and Steph. Do what we can.
Very good, mate. Best of luck.
Thanks, guys.
Well, Matty Parker is now the next car out on track, ladies and gentlemen. I've just noticed on Steph's screen that
Get it up. There we go.
There we go.
I was just getting it up.
Unfortunately, for some reason, the custom cams did not work properly for the Commodore.
No.
But that's fine. We'll get the double view going in just a moment as he comes down towards turn 1 for the very first time in his Nova Sim Sports car. Will he be the first and only Commodore thus far to set a lap time here in the shootout, Steph, or is the mods still on at the moment for him? Oh, Steph's still playing with her cameras right now. That's
What's going on? It's gone again. Sorry.
That's all good. That's all good.
Weird.
We'll kick it with the regular cams for right now. It's all
There
good.
we go. I can't get the one up. There we go. Custom cam won't load.
That's fine. That's all good. As
Little gremlins with these Commodores
I
tonight.
know, right? There's something about him. Something about him is just causing a bit of moz for us right now,
There
Steph.
is.
As he comes down towards Dandenong Road, we've had 4 attempts in the shootout, only 2 laps on the board. So Mick Clifton and Michael Schroeder are guaranteed to start at least on the 4th row here tonight. Parker now round in towards the final couple of corners. This will be the first clean lap that a Commodore has set in the top 10 shootout, and he may go straight to the top off of 2 fastest sectors at the end of the lap. Matty Parker goes provisional pole with a 107.66 on the board for him. We'll drag him in. Matty Parker doing it for the Commodores here tonight after 2 of your Commodore compatriots managed to muck up their laps. You've done well to get it not only into the 7s but also into the top of the timing tower. How does that feel, mate, in this shootout?
Pretty crap actually. I was last half of from Dandenong Road pretty much to the end of the lap. I was just it was off. So there was more in it. I knew that, but yeah. Oh well. What it is. It's a long race. So
that's right, mate. And it's already been proven in this shootout that one mistake from some drivers could mean you actually start higher than where you may predict yourself to be. So you've done well to get it out there and cut the clean lap. Best of luck in the race going forward. Hopefully we'll have words to you at the end of the race.
Thanks, guys.
Peter Pavlovic is now the next car out on track, ladies and gentlemen, for PER. So we'll see if he does any better than his teammate John Gallen out there here tonight. As he comes around turn 1. He has actually managed to make it further than the last Pelican did, Steph.
He has so far, yes. Still gonna have a gremlin there. He's made it further through than Gallen at this stage. So hopefully we'll get another hold him up further up the grid.
Well, we'll see how he does across the piece here in the second half of this lap. Down towards Dandenong Road now for Peter Pavlovic. He's got 2 green sectors next to his name on this run. You know what's interesting, Steph? Andrew Cowan's at the fastest split in Sector 1 on his lap.
He has.
Yeah. What could have been for Andrew Cowan? Up towards the final sector now for Peter Pavlovic. It's been a cool, calm, collected lap. As he comes up towards the line, where is he going to place him in the Flying Pelican for the 216? He goes P4 on the road and is good enough for P8 in this top 10 shootout. As we drag him in, Mr. Pavlovic unfortunately couldn't quite get the lap together at maximum pace, but you will at least start on the road from P8 here tonight. Could even be further up if any other drivers make some mistakes or even have some off tracks too.
Yeah, not a bad result. It kind of pushed a little bit wide. Probably didn't put enough heat in the front tyres, but anyway, it's all right. Doesn't matter. It's an 80-minute race. Anything can happen. Just got to keep my nose clean.
Exactly right, mate. Best of luck for the race. We'll see how you go. And great job in the shootout.
Thank you.
So we will see how debutant Wade Sheedy does now in the shootout. Steph did well on debut to get it into the top 10 and into his first shootout. here at Sandown as he comes in towards turn 1. A nice run through that time by for him. And now up towards 2 and 3. Such a tough little section of track for these drivers to get right. As he continues up now down towards Dandenong Road. But a nice and tidy lap for him. Let's check the sectors. He's on a green in the first. We'll see what it says for the second. He's gone purple in the second, Steph, so this could be good enough for pole.
It could be. That's the trickiest section there in the sector 2. You got to pull it up and get it, get the car settled on the brakes and turned in and all that jazz. That's one of the hardest sections.
Now in towards the final couple of corners is Wade Sheedy. He's done well across this lap. Is it going to be good enough for provisional pole position? He's gone P1 with a 107.6. Wow. He's gone 5/10 faster than Matty Parker did. Or sorry, 5/100ths faster than Matty Parker did on that last lap. We'll drag him in. Mr. Sheedy on debut and into provisional pole position here tonight. A mammoth effort from you, mate. This is currently going to be good enough for at least the second row of the grid. How does it feel to get that lap under your belt?
Nice stuff to start up for the lap. Going into turn 1 there, and then through that chicane, but the rest of it felt pretty good, so all considering, not too bad.
Very good, mate. Best of luck for the race ahead. Congratulations on your first top 10 shootout appearance. We'll see how you go.
Thanks, mate.
Jamie Davis is now out on track and getting to tackle this beautiful Sandown Raceway here in Victoria. In through turn 1 for Davis. A great run from him. And if anyone's going to challenge that pole position here, Steph, it is going to be Davis. We know he's got pace about him. What a mega top 4 we have at the end. Running at the end of this session. We have Sheedy on debut. We have Davis, we have Mole, and we have Jace Douglas. This is going to be intense, and these times are going to be ultra close.
It's going to be an epic finish here tonight, I think, in the top 10. We're on for a good one.
Down through the run in towards Dandenong Road. Nice run there from Davis. Could be on here for a wonderful lap. He's only on personal bests at the moment in the first 2, but they are session bests at the moment. Round through the final corner from Jamie Davis. Is the lap going to count for him? Is he going to go to the top? He has with a 107.0.
Wow. Wow, what a lap. That's a mega lap.
That is a mega lap from Jamie Davis. We'll drag him in. Mr. Davis, what a lap from you, sir. 0.6 of a second faster than the next best time. And you've now put all the pressure on Billy Mole to get into the 6s if he hopes to get provisional pole position. How was that lap for you?
Lap was a little bit conservative through the first sector, but overall, pretty solid. Happy with it.
Oh, mate, if you can pull out laps like that throughout this race at a consistent rate, you will be on for something special here tonight. Best of luck in the Enduro, and we'll see if we'll be chatting to you at the end of this one.
Alright, thanks, Hamish. Good luck to the other 2.
Thanks, mate. Well, Steph, Billy Mole out on track. Both me and Singer agree he has arguably the best name in the entire field.
Yep.
And he's going to get ready to, have a crack at a shootout. I think he has previously been in the shootout before. So he has got some experience out there. We'll see how he goes. Cowie's just let us know that RC loved Jamie's lap, so enthralled that they forgot to send Billy out there early enough so we could actually have him on the track on his warm-up. So, but we have got him out there now. We've got him rocking and rolling up towards the line to start his shootout lap now for Nova Sim Sports. He will be the second last driver to set a lap time in this qualifying session. As Billy Mole comes down through turn 1. A nice, clean run from him. Nice and tight through there as well, Steph. This is looking neat and tidy early on.
It is. He's doing well. Keep it nice and tight. A little on the exit. That's okay.
Well, at the moment, the challenge was set by Davis for him to go into the sixes, and he is on track to do so. He's gone fastest in the first sector. Needs to maximise his run in the third and second. 18.23 in the second sector, so he's given up a little bit of time now to Davis. And in through Dandenong Road. This is going to be crucial now, and he's gone off track.
No.
Unfortunate there for Billy Mole. That's going to be qualifying done and dusted from him. And unfortunately, Steph, he's now gone backwards from where he actually qualified in the regular qualifying here tonight. We'll drag him in for a chat. Mr. Mole, that was looking like something special, mate. Unfortunately, just the off track at Dandenong Road. Our hearts break for you, because that was going to be a mega lap.
Yeah, I just wasn't prepared. Just sitting there for ages kind of just makes me fucking like not get ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's one of the challenges of the shootout, and unfortunately it catches some drivers out, mate. You got good pace in the car, though. It was looking like a solid lap, so take some positives out of it with you. Best of luck for the race.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll have a chat to you after the piece.
Cheers.
Thanks, mate. Well, Steph, one driver left out there. One driver to challenge Jamie Davis on provisional pole at the moment, and it is this man, Jason Douglas, who has been a revelation since returning to the Tuesday Supercars. He will have one crack at this lap, and if he can keep it clean, he'll be on for something absolutely mega. Every single car in qualifying who's not set a lap time have all been Commodores. So the pressure's now on for Jason Douglas as he comes through turn 1. We'll see what the sector times will be when it clicks over up at turn 4. Oh, this is looking quick already, though. He's pushing this lap.
He is. He's definitely pushing. Wow.
He's gone purple in the first sector. That means he's gone session best and is the fastest car in the shootout at the moment. Second sector is going to be crucial. Was the run out of turn 4 good enough to challenge Jamie Davis's second sector? Oh, he's a bit off.
Yes.
Davis was 4/10 faster through the second sector. Bit of a lock-up, though, into Dandenong Road. He's kept it on track, but this may wreck the lap for him, and he may even start further back than he might realise at the moment, Steph.
He might, yeah, that lock-up, that's going to be detrimental to the timing here, I think.
Up towards the line for Jason Douglas. He crosses the line. Where's he going to go? He goes P3. In a respectable effort with a 107.63 out there, will drag him in. Mr. Douglas, a fair effort out there tonight. You were the provisional pole sitter before the shootout. Just unfortunately, a poor run out of turn 4 and then a slight lock into Dandenong Road just threw it all away a little bit for you.
Yeah, I did. Just missed the apex. Ran wide at turn 4 and then Dandenong just pinched the left front, I think it was, and I was just a passenger basically.
Well, mate, take some solace in the fact that you were the fastest car in regular qualifying. You've got some good pace under your belt, and if you can keep this thing clean, you've got a run of form going into this race. You'll do well here tonight if you can keep it all together. So best of luck. We'll see if we're chatting to you at the end of this race.
Yeah, all good, thank you.
Thanks, mate. Well, Steph, Jace, I mean, just unfortunate for him. He made the mistake, as did a lot of the other Commodores out there here tonight. It's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate for them. You know?
What could have been?
Exactly right. What could have been?
Those lap times, what could have been? My goodness.
Well, what we have got going ahead now, ladies and gentlemen, is we will have the session advanced, so we'll have our results for the shootout as well. Then what will happen is we'll have to wait for the RC and admins to have the race server time adjusted, so we are ready to go racing. Once that happens, we'll get into that server. We'll have a little practice session, and then we'll get into this race. But what a lap time it was from Jamie Davis there, Steph. I mean,
incredible.
Unbelievable lap from him. What we'll do is we will...
Did well.
Oh, I was going to say we'll get it when Billy Mole comes out of pit lane, but they were late on it for when Billy actually came out of pit lane. What we'll do is we will sit with Mr. Davis as he was about to come out of the lane. So we'll sit with him. This is his lap in full, including his warm-up. as they waited to give him the go ahead. And we'll get a nice little POV of what it was like for Jamie Davis in this pole lap for him at Sandown. Actually, what we might do is we'll just do this. We're going to skip ahead a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, no, he's rolling out now. He's rolling out. He's actually rolling out. We'll sit with him whilst he cuts this lap. And then we'll check out the provisional results for qualifying. So, I mean, what a lap it was, though. And just, he did well. Got the tyres warmed up. Now he's going to advance session forward for us. Thanks, Greg. Appreciate it, mate. Thank you so much. We're just going to watch the lap back of Jamie's, and then we'll be able to get our results going, so that'll be good. So you can see he's just working the tyres, working the car, Steph, and get himself, I think this is a good little mental preparation as well, just to get himself set up for what's to come across that lap.
It's and you've only got one lap, so it's important to make sure you get your tyres at the correct pressure and in the window to get that up for that one flyer, because the last thing you want to do is not have your pressures or your temps up, and you come down to turn 1 and you're in trouble. Your brake temps as well, that's important. You'll be working the brake pedal along there as well. Try and get some brake temp to heat the tyres up as well.
Oh, they've cut us off because they advanced session. That's fine. We're going to miss out on that lap. That's okay. That's all good. That's all good. I did not mean to close the overlays. That's fine. That's all good. But what it does mean is we do actually have our provisional results for the top 10 shootout as follows. It was John Gallen to Andrew Cowan to Billy Mole. They all will start from the back end of the top 10. We then have Peter Pavlovic, Michael Schroeder, Mick Clifton, Matty Parker, Jace Douglas, Wade Sheedy, and Jamie Davis will start provisional pole position on the road here tonight. We'll get that set up properly so it is on class set 1. So that is our top 10. That's how they ended up. Michael Schroeder, who did the first lap, Steph, he thought it was a slow lap. He's starting on the third row of the grid.
Yeah, anything can happen. That just goes to show that, you might not think it's a good lap, but hey, anything will happen. Anything that's and it's a long race, so redemption's on the cards as well.
Exactly right. So what we'll do is now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move over to our race server, and then we will get ready with a slight little warm-up session for us to go racing here at Sandown here tonight for 80 minutes. So it's going to be a long one. We've already been on the air for an hour now with our qualifying and top 10 shootout, Steph. So everything it does. It goes very, very quick, especially with the shootout. Doesn't go as quick for the drivers though, because they have to wait for everything to get going for them. So what we're going to have now is, ladies and gentlemen, we'll go back to our little 5-minute ad break as the session goes live, and we'll get ready to go into that session as well. Don't go anywhere. We've got 80 minutes of racing to come off the back of that magnificent top 10 shootout, where Jamie Davis will start on pole position once again here tonight out at Sandown. We'll see how he goes in this. Don't go anywhere.
This is amazing. How it's clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Water.
For the first time here for season 3, Davis on pole, Vanderkran in second. It's going to be sprint round action here tonight. Let's go racing here at Daytona. It was a good start there from Davis in comparison to Vanderkran in behind. Cowan's absolutely bogged it up and already dropped out of the top 3 here as they come down towards turn 1 for the first time. There's biffing and barging between Gallen and Cowan. These guys are still going at it after last season. They survive for this time by though. Through turn 2 and 3 they come. Nice and clean, boys. Keep it up as they come up to...
I love riding. It's a real social thing. There's a great bond between riders.
Every weekend I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other.
Riding to work is a great way to start the day.
Shannon's insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. They offer features riders really want. It's why they're one of Australia's leading motorcycle insurance providers.
Whatever you ride.
Whatever you ride.
Whatever you ride.
Ride with Shannon. Call 134646 for a quote.
Through turn 1, it was a horrible start from De Bono. He's absolutely bogged it up and gets eaten alive by Dixon and Gowans as they come on through. Through turn 1 they come, and they all spread out around in towards the first sector of the Silverstone circuit. They look all right at the moment. Okay, there's already been a car spun round. That's Jordan Ferguson offline.
Is green, green, green at Road Atlanta here as well. Faulkner did get away. De Bono is tucked in as well. Unfortunately, Houghton is on that outside line. De Bono does want to tell him to do. He's got the job. De Bono's overtaken. Now can he get Ben Faulkner up through turns for 2 and 3? They go round the right-hander, dropping down the hill. Faulkner's out in front. De Bono second. Houghton third. Ratcliffe in fourth. No real dramas going into turn 1.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannon's,
We've also got Shannon's home and contents cover,
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be
Shannon's.
Shannon's, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 13 46 46 for a quote.
Amazing, I was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters, almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because tell you what, Bruce Tannock and Jamie Dyke just absolutely drove away from us. Hayden trying to go around the outside. This is where he could have just sent it up the inside, but he hasn't implemented it, which is fair enough. It's very scary out there, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's see if we get a good run. Dodds just absolute thinker, but it's a really nice move. Blake Delaney had to move out of the way.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're just waiting for the server to get finalised now. They're setting the manual grid for the server, so it should not be too much longer till we have got the racing back on your screens, but it gives us an opportunity just to break down this race a little bit. Myself and Steph Piccoli still in the booth with you, Steph. It's going to be a massive night. I mean, we've already seen the shootout. We've already seen the qualifying. Times are quick. Times are fast. And I feel like we've already got some favourites on offer for who we think could actually win this race. And one of them, I think, is definitely Jace Douglas because he was on for a mega lap. Unfortunately, just made a mistake in the end. Same thing for Billy Mole as well. He could have been on pole position if he hadn't have made that mistake.
Yeah, there would have been some very quick times there. Look, you know, I'm sure the guys will pick their way through the field. You know, especially with those times. I know you tend to push harder in quali. And I'd say these guys do have a different setup. Whether it's camber, tow, obviously different weight, fuel weights and fuel capacities that they'd be running. But if you can lay down those times during the race, you're for sure going to be moving up the grid.
Yeah, I mean, it's all going to come down to their strategies now. The one thing that they are limited to is their fuel, what they start with. It's a 75% tank, which is roughly about 61 odd litres. As the race server's just gone live, so we'll hop in there and we will get some stuff on screen for everyone out there as well. We've had a couple of chats while we were away. Di Feldman out there saying, well done, crew. I've never done this before. Very cool. Great to see that you're enjoying yourselves, Di, in the race. Sated Lord out there saying nothing like the rumble of a good V8. Saying what's even better is that they are at the home of horsepower. I love Sandown. It's so good. It is so good. There's some local racing there on this weekend for Vic State Series. Go out there, have a gander, ladies and gentlemen. I think the weekend tickets were like $30, so it's a good deal. So if you live not too far away from Sandown, head out there. You can see some 8.6 action, some sports sedans as well. Heap of action offer that weekend as well. I plan to go there on Friday and see if I can get in while they have their practice on. If I can't, then I will be there on Saturday. And you guys, if you see me, you can come and say hello. I'll be wearing a hat with the words V8 Vets on the top of it. Likely walking around with a microphone, so you can come and say g'day as I'm filming some content for another race series. It is such a great track. It's so good. I mean, Sandown it's peak. It is peak.
Yeah, it's on my bucket list.
I've been to the 500 for the whole weekend. I've been there once. I've been during a practice day as well for 500. It's so good. It's so good. And I mean, I think if you get yourself you can get like a grandstand ticket, you can go anywhere pretty much. You can go into the pit lane, you can walk around majority of the track. The only thing you can't go into is the corporate box. But apart from that, I mean, you get so much access, and you're guaranteed a seat with a grandstand ticket in the grandstand as well. So if it's a rainy Sandown 500, which it normally is, you can at least stay dry.
Normally, yep. Cold, wet, windy. No, it's on the bucket list. Been the 1,000 a couple of times, but the 500, it's one of those ones I want to get to.
I suppose it's a similar thing. I live somewhat close proximity to Sandown. It's easier for me to go to the 500. You live somewhat close proximity to Bathurst. It's easier for you to go to the 1,000. It's harder for us to go to the opposite event.
Exactly.
If I wanted to go to Phillip Island, I could go to Phillip Island quite easily as well. Great. Now, good to hear Steph in the booth. I'm used to seeing her on tracks IRacing. Well, she's on the booth with me on Friday nights as well for GTDs. So this is not the only night that you will be on this week for the broadcast.
No.
Steph, so, no. She'll be back Friday night for GTDs. Exactly.
Trying to mix it up a little bit.
That's right. It's unfortunately, I think Sinker took too many Sudafeds tonight, and he couldn't get with us. Unfortunately, unfortunately for him.
No. Not ideal.
Not ideal at all. We are into the session though, ladies and gentlemen. There'll be a short little practice session, then we're going to get racing here at Sandown Raceway here in beautiful Springvale, Victoria, close to Dandenong, as well as Noble Park as well. So not too far from a real cultural hub inside of Victoria, as some drivers are going to start heading out on track, like Sean Vandermill and others as well. Sean didn't make qualifying, but he's made the race, so we'll see how he goes out there here tonight.
Yeah.
I think he might be the only one who didn't make qualifying, but has made the race start as well. So, Brett Douglas, actually, he's another one. And Mitch Noble was out there for qualifying. He almost misses the booth himself. So we've got this little practice session on offer for you now, ladies and gentlemen, for the drivers to get out there and have a bit of a crack of practice. Your heart's going to break for him, don't you? Billy Mole. I mean, what could have been? He could have been on pole position after the shootout. Just unfortunate one mistake. Hopefully it doesn't eat him alive going into this race, and hopefully he can keep himself cool, calm and collected for the piece for the next 80 minutes of racing, because, I mean, that's one thing that could really get you off to a poor start, Steph, is really breaking that ego, really breaking down how you're feeling going into a race when you muck up that shootout lap. It's a tough gig, especially when they're back to back and you haven't got 12 hours or so to process what's happening.
That's right. Yeah, it's they would have to try and reset in between that shootout and quali for the race. Put that behind them. Try and move forward. Focus on the task at hand of the hour and 20-minute race. 80. Is that hour and 20? Is it?
Yeah, hour and 20, 80 minutes.
Yeah. Yep. Try and put themselves in that mindset to push forward and limit the mistakes. And yeah, it's not easy to do. Especially if you're hard on yourself and things like that. You take them really seriously. So hopefully the guys have managed to do that, and yeah, they'll lay down some decent laps in the race as well.
I was going to point out, Steph, you've shared the wrong iRacing on
I have,
Discord.
haven't I?
Yeah, yep.
Stand by.
We'll get it sorted. We will get it sorted. John Gallen as well, similar boat to Billy Mole. Unfortunately, he didn't actually last quite as long in his lap. He ended up directly hard into the wall off the exit of turn 1. So he now has some pressure on him too, especially because he's in contention for this championship as well. We'll see how he runs though. Virtual race is the closest a lot of people get, especially around the world, to ever getting to Sandown.
Yeah.
I tell you what though, Sean Vandermillen, he has set the pace early here in this initial practice session before the race start. Of course, running his own Brock Retro. So there's 2 Brock Retros for Nova Sim Sports tonight. He's gone P2 now as his teammate Billy Moles, proving that he did in fact have the pace to challenge for a P1. John Gallen's done the same thing by going to P2, so they're getting their frustrations out right now of not being able to set a lap in the shootout.
If you're going to do it, now's the time
Exactly.
to do that.
Get out there, have a massive crack at just a full push of a lap. Get it out of your system before the race. Best way to do it, Best way to do it. Robert Crow's out there as well. He has also got a little retro on his car as well, representing Robbie Francevich's Volvo dealer team winning livery. So that's what his retro is for this week. As we colloquially call him, this is put in the wall, we call him Robbie Krosevich. So we thought it was quite appropriate to give him a Robbie Francevich retro. As Peter Pavlik's had his own little off-track there. I don't know why it is. Every session I go into, I have to reload my trading paints for Jacob Traynell's car. Every single time, I have to reload it.
I've had some troubles lately myself. Good old trading paints.
It's beautiful when it works, but when it doesn't, it makes you scratch your head.
It does.
So get out there, ladies and gentlemen. We've got 32 viewers with us here tonight at the moment. Get out there, get into the chat. Let us know what you think of Sandown. Keep us occupied for 80 minutes of racing. I'm sure there'll be plenty of racing to keep us occupied, but there will be little moments where, we need a good laugh from the chat. Little breaks in our moments of, I'm trying to know what the word is, moments of concentration, moments of taking it serious, moments of seriousness. Especially when there's safety cars. If we get safety cars tonight, it's going to be where we're going to have opportunities to shuffle, and it is going to be chaos. And I suppose now's a good time, better than ever, Steph, because you know that me and Cowie love to give safety car predictions on the Wednesday nights when he was my co-commentator.
Yep.
Let's do it tonight. What do you reckon? How many safety cars do you think Sandown's going to give us?
Oh, I want to say 3.
Oh.
I'm going to go high. I'm going to say 3.
Agreeing with Sean Bonici there. He said 3 as well. I'm going to say... I'm going to go somewhat conservative. I think we'll have 2.
Okay.
I'm not going to specifically say where I think they're going to get caused or when. I do think if we get it within the first lap or so, then it will be more likely we're going to get more safety cars just because of how that can kind of lend. If we have a clean first couple of laps, I think 2 safety cars is pretty fair for 80 minutes of racing. If one of those safety cars is in like the first 5 minutes, that could just be leading us on to what could be the style of race we're going to have tonight, which is stop-start thanks to safety cars. So,
you know what they say, safety cars breed safety cars.
Exactly
especially on
right.
restart.
Exactly right. And they don't always, but
No.
they can do, especially with a condensed track with a condensed field like this of 30-odd cars.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's hungry to make up positions. There'll be people at the back of the grid hungry to make up positions, like Sean Van der Millen, who's got some pace and missed qualifying.
Yeah.
So there will be drivers out there who will be hungry to make up those free spots and to try and make their way through the field. But it's a long race. Anything can happen. It may just be better to bide your time, pick your points of overtake, pick your points of taking advantage. And, you know, I think taking your time is actually going to pay dividends to a lot of drivers tonight, especially towards the back of the field. Because I think if there's ever going to be an incident, it's more than likely going to be towards the back end of the field.
That's right, yeah. Especially sort of coming into the braking zones. You know, a bit overzealous or, you know, lap 1, turn 1. You know, especially even potentially going through Dandenong tonight. Would be on for something there.
I don't think potentially, I think almost guaranteed to happen through Dandenong. I think it's one of the points of this track where we're almost guaranteed to have questionable track rejoins. Same here at turn 3 as well. We could see someone cross the grass and just absolutely collide into the side of someone as well. So, excuse me. It'll all be on offer tonight, though, in this race. And I'm excited. I love Sandown. It's fantastic racing that can be put on offer for us. And I think with this crowd of drivers, we're going to be in for something special tonight. This could arguably be race of the week for SRW. Sunday, though, could also be another level with some of those faster guys out there.
Yeah, it's going to be on for 1 and 0 tonight, I think. It should be good, though. I think we're on for a good one.
Well, you know, we asked the question before, where would you rather be on a Tuesday night? Aside from possibly in the driving seat of one of these cars, I could not think of a better place to be than either being able to watch this action or also call the action as well. Where's the famous Tasmanian? Asked Mr. Singovich from the SRW channel. He's out there. He was just outside the top 10, and he has got his retro on the car, actually. So another Brock retro. That's 3 now on track.
Yeah.
He's out there. He was just outside the top 10 in qualifying. He got into the top 15, I'm pretty sure. So he could be on for a quality result himself if he can put all this together. And I'm excited to see what he can do, because we know that this is the turning point of his season every single season. So as soon as we get to round 6, that's when Brett Taylor just decides to actually show up and race. Quite often, you know, he'll be out there on track for the first 5 rounds. But this is like when he says, "Oh, I should probably actually, you know, make an effort of this, maybe." It's where he gets all of his. It's where he gets all of his positive performances. Just waiting for Quash to reconnect. Oh, okay, so we could be on for the first time this season. Quashy and Clutterbuck in the same race, Steph. We haven't had it happen yet.
Wow, look at that.
We made assumptions that maybe they're just the same person running with a different name at times.
Different account.
Yep.
I'm sure it's not the first, so it probably won't be the last.
Probably won't be. Probably won't be. Let's be honest. Oh, I hope we do. I hope we do see who's on tonight. Yeah, it'll be Sinker. That'll be Sinker in there in that accounts for sure. It's not me. My personal account's in the chat tonight. But yes, that would be good old Sinker. Wade Sheedy set the pace here in practice. He could be a bit of a smoky tonight, Steph, for a win.
He could.
I don't know. I have to be honest. I do not know anything about him. To be honest, at least I can't remember anything if I've ever seen him anywhere. But he could be on for something special.
Yeah, I can't say I know the name. But
sounds like
I
a
think
cricketer's name, doesn't it?
It does.
You know,
He's
just
laying it down,
a solid, like, you know, 4th selection spin bowler starting. You know, heads out at number 10, like just a real spine cricketer in the lineup. You know, just a real off leg fieldsman. You know. Just on the boundary line, take a hanger for yourself every 3 games and have a good time.
Exactly. That's it. Yeah, it should be good to see him though. See what he puts out there, and gifts to the guys. That'll be good.
Yeah. His teammate, though, Sean Rigby, who missed out on the top 10, has actually got a top 3 time right now in this practice session. But we are not running quali laps right now. These guys are running some race practice, practicing their race starts, getting themselves prepared for what's to come for the next 80 minutes of racing. As
Most likely trying to lock in their strategies as well with
for sure.
the one set of changed tyres.
Yep, that's right. That's one thing I forgot about as well, actually. Thanks for reminding me, Steph. That's right. They only get one set of tyres that they can change to tonight. It's been that long since we've had an Enduro, and it was only a fresh rule in the last Enduro we did last season. It's been like 2 months since we've had an Enduro. Give me some credit for forgetting. But that's a good point. That's another rule that they have to remember about is that one tyre change. And I think, honestly, realistically, supercars, a stint is made to go an hour. Your tyres are made to go an hour. We've got an hour and 20 minutes of racing. If they can fuel save with safety cars, they can get it home in, I want to say, 2.5 stops. 3 stops, I think, is going to be the regular strategy tonight. With saving, they can do it in 2.
Depends how much time you're losing while you're saving.
Sinker wants us to ask to survey the crowd for Holden or Ford.
Ford or the relevant Holden?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I'm not a manufacturer stan. I'm a driver stan. I'm a real fan of drivers more so than, say, teams or manufacturer type. Now, in saying that, when a driver I like goes to a team, I do start supporting that team because obviously you have some
following your driver.
Yeah, you have some affiliation with the team because your driver's there. But I'm not like a big team or manufacturer. I'm not a big team or manufacturer fan, I guess you could say. Regardless, though, we will get into the grid for tonight's race. 80 minutes of racing to come, and this is how they're going to start out there. Jamie Davis will line up on pole position ahead of Wade Sheedy on debut here tonight in P2 for Platinum Racing. Jason Douglas and Matty Parker will then line up on the second row of the grid ahead of Mick Clifton, Michael Schroeder on the third row. Peter Papovic, Billy Moll will make up the fourth with John Gallen and Andrew Cowan making up the top 10 in qualifying. We'll then move back to Mark Houghton and Brett Taylor in P11 and 12. Brad Wall, Stephen Martin on the 7th row. Robert Kroll make up the top 15 ahead of Brett Douglas, Craig Healy, Jacob Traynor, Sean Rigby, Daniel Clutterbuck inside the top 20. Scott Lefevre and Brad Hayes, the top 22 with Jared Williams and Josh King in behind them. We'll then move back to Di Feldman, Martin Lipsky, Brad Anderson, and then our rear of grid drivers are Blake Fitzpatrick, Mitch Noble, Andrew Rushworth, and then Michael Quah, Sean Vandermeulen did not make qualifying, but they have made the race start. Our race controls here tonight, Tyson McAvoy, Greg Leake, and Greg Barber once again out there with us here, Steph. And of course, Jamie Davis, what a mega lap it was from him to put this Team SRW Motorsports car on pole. And he gets the beautiful showcase on the P1 grid slot tonight.
Yeah. P1. What can you say? It was a cracker of a lap.
It was. It really was.
He just laid it down. It's an absolute cracker.
Well, remembering as well, he is a driver in back-to-back seasons that's come so close to winning the top championship on Tuesday nights and has just missed out on a whisker, whether it was a round ban or something else getting in his way. This season, he's all in on this championship. Unfortunately, he will miss next week's race as he is having some issues right now on track with blinking at the moment. Does that kill his season? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But he will line up on pole position. We're just waiting for a couple of drivers to get onto the grid, including Brad Wall, Martin Lipsky, Blake Fitzpatrick as well. But look at them all line up down that straight right now. This is going to be a phenomenal affair for us here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, as race controllers do their little pre-race spiel.
Yep.
Oh, what a race we are in for tonight. Sandown, 80 minutes. Davis and Sheedy on the front row. And it's all about to get going. Lights are up. Let's go racing from Sandown. We are away for the first time here tonight as they get down towards the start grid. Everyone's spreading out down towards turn 1. But Davis leads them through for the first time, and he's run it wide, and Sheedy's taken advantage up the inside early here, Steph. He takes the lead as they come up through 2 and 3.
Yeah, you got to take them where they present themselves, and he's done that tonight. So, well, good on him for doing that. Yeah, you take what you can get.
There's been a big stack in the background with Rigby and Traynor as well. In through 2 and 3, you can see them in the background. Rigby on debut here, but his teammates at the opposite end of the track. That's going to be a slowdown for Jamie Davis, and he may drop outside of the top 5 before the end of this first lap.
That's going to be hard. That's not going to be easy to do, to come back from that. Yeah, with the opening lap, but a slowdown, you will lose positions with the field being so tight.
Jason Douglas, he already looks to be on the move off this race start. As they come up to cross the line, he is side by side with Matty Parker in towards turn 1. As the battle continues on, he has the inside line. Oh my God, how have they made that work? And you can see Mick Clifton, he's lurking in the background too. These guys are getting feisty early on here, Steph.
They are.
Oh my God.
Got Brett Taylor, Steve Martin, and Robert Crow all going at it at the minute. They're not that far apart. They're too wide going into turn 1. That was interesting. Not something you'd want to do.
The battles are commencing all over the shop right now as they come down through Dandenong Road. Mick Clifton, he's had a good start here. He's stuck it with the top 4, and he's still amongst this fight right now as they all start to get into their grooves. Let's just quickly check out what happened here on lap 1 with the likes of Healy and Wall and Rigby as well. So this was down towards 2 and 3. So there's Rigby, he just cut across. I think that was Traynor, and everyone just had to take evasive action. Very, very lucky that did not blow up more than it did.
Yeah, that could have been chaotic. Could have caused first safety car of the night
It
too.
really could have. It could have if they weren't careful. Both drivers, though, did so well to hold their brakes. Although Jacob Traynor did not look like he was willing to hold his brakes at that point. He was trying to push on through.
Might have been trying to help him flick spin it.
Maybe. Quite possibly. Who knows at this point. As Jace Douglas, for whatever reason... Oh, we've gone back to scenic cam, but we're still going. Zoe Cooper in the chat. Go Sean Vandermeulen, 451 Team Nova. He's done well off this race start, Steph. He is already up 11 positions and into P21. Blake Fitzpatrick, who had the rear of grid, he's also up 11 and inside the top 20 at the moment off this race start.
Yeah, he's doing well. Yeah, he's pushing on through, so that's good. Still a long way to go, so you wouldn't be counting the chickens just yet.
No, you really wouldn't, and you wouldn't want to be either. As they cross the line to start lap number 4, we can see the timing tower now, all 32 positions, every single driver in this race, Steph. So we actually have got the rare occasion that the limit for the timing tower is actually met by our entire field tonight. So it's very, very good to see as they all make their way up through turn 4 as well. What a side-by-side battle on your screen, though, between Wall and Douglas. Those guys are going at it ahead of Vandermeulen.
They are. They're not letting up, that's for sure. These guys have been going on for a little bit. Yeah, they're... Oh, there's a spin in the background there.
Oh, that was Mitch Noble.
No.
And that's off the exit of turn 4, Steph. One of the danger zones that we mentioned about, a spot on the track. Yep. And he's towed back to pits. I don't know if he was allowed to tow back to pits, but he has towed back, it seems, or he's blinked. This is what happened to him. I reckon he's just taken a bit too much curb and got on the gas slightly too early, I reckon. And very easy mistake when you don't have a lot of experience around here. Yeah, it's pretty much, he's come round. It looked a bit oversteering as well as he came through the corner, and then it's pretty much as he caught that curb, he lit it up, and the thing's just gone round. Unfortunate for him.
Just gassed it up and off it went.
Yeah. And again, very, very easy to do. Very, very easy to do. Jace Douglas at the moment, he is all over Matty Parker like a mosquito in summer right now. He is not letting up and keeping the pressure applied at full volume.
Yes, they're these guys are intense. My goodness.
Where have they gone
Doesn't matter
camping?
where you look. Does not matter where you look, there's a battle somewhere.
Drive-through penalty coming the way of car 558. Nose to rear contact with car 828, lap 1, turn 2 and 3. So that'll be going the way of Jacob Traynor for the attempted move on Sean Rigby on lap 1. So unfortunately, he will now have to traverse through the lane. And unfortunately for him, Steph, we mentioned it earlier in the piece, it's an early drive-through, and he's at the back of the field. So now he's going to be at risk of getting lapped by the leaders because they're not going to be too far off his tail by the time he comes out of that lane.
Yeah, that's a harsh one. Well, not a harsh one, but it's a hard one to swallow so early on. But with it being so early on, you'd want it now as opposed to later in the race.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, at least at this point, he has opportunity to come back. You know?
That's right. You've got the chance to, you know, to get your lap back if there's a safety car as well. So, fingers crossed. That's what you know, it's what he gets tonight. So, hopefully, he'll be able to move back on through the field.
Just going to give a shout out, Mick Clifton. What a beautiful retro he has got right now. The DJR, the late 90s look. Oh, it is just, I wish DJR would go back to a yellow base shell car.
It would be good.
I'm a bit sick and tired of the red, white, and a little bit of yellow. I want just a full-on, you know, yellow shell car. The last good one they did was the 04 car. That thing was beautiful, and the fact that they don't have it anymore, it's disappointing, to be honest with you, because like, look at that, you can see that from anywhere on track and you know what it is. It's a shell car.
That's right.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. It's gonna be there. You can always see it anywhere.
Well, the one who else is right there is Peter Pavlovic, still on the back of Mick Clifton. He's not given him any reprieve thus far, Steph. One driver though, well, actually, he's actually managed to get past Mr. Michael Schroeder off the back of his start as well, so he's done well to do that in the PR machine. Billy Moult, John Gallen, these guys trying to move up the order as well. What could have been for them in qualifying? They have not managed, though, to find a laneway past Michael Schroeder just yet. Although they might have an opportunity now as he's run it wide at Dandenong Road. Billy Moult gets it done easily. What about John Gallen side by side into the braking zone? Schroeder's going to have the run. Oh, they're still banging doors through this corner. Great battling between them, but Gallen is the one to get it done off the back of that. But look at the time they've lost now to Billy Moult through that little battle they had.
Massive time loss. You know, and so early on, you want to make moves to move up, but you want to work together to move, you know, catch the leaders. That's where my mindset would be at the moment. Not so much sort of trying to gain positions, but work together to move everybody through the field.
Well, they've now also got Andrew Cowan on their tail too, so that little tussle has held them up through the final couple of corners, and it's now given opportunity to Cowie to get on the back of them, as well as Houghton as well. So all of a sudden this battle's gone from a 1v1 to a little fatal four-way action early on in this race, and if they're not careful, they're going to get swallowed up like flies.
Yeah, it's touch and go. That's the last thing you want to do is be caught. That's for sure.
You would know, I mean, being in the 8-6 field, how big that field is.
I think we had 40 cars last week, 39 cars.
As soon as you're in a battle, you swallow it up just like that.
Yeah.
You know, and
you are.
And it's tough, especially in like sprint round formats. It's hard to work together with your competitors when you've only got so much time that you can work together before you actually have to battle. You know,
that's right.
It is so tough, like to really get that good balance of working together, but then also being prepared to battle each other as well.
Yeah, you got to try and find that balance, which is difficult because you know your sprint rounds, you want to move through the field as quickly as possible because you've only got your 20-minute race. You want to try and move up as quick as possible, but at the same time, the more you battle, the more you're going to have the battle because it slows you down. So you don't want to, you know, be caught sort of pushing too hard to, you know, because then mistakes also come into effect. So you don't still want to be battling too hard and losing on the cars behind, because you're just inviting more into the fold.
Yeah, it's almost like rubber banding a little bit.
It is. Yeah. Probably a good way of describing it.
Yeah. We can see on your screen at the moment, Sean Rigby, who has started to make his way back through the field after that initial contact with Jacob Traynor. He's up he's down 5 spots from where he started. He dispatched of Di Feldman towards the end of this lap, and he's now got his sights set on Michael Quash and Josh King up ahead of him as well. We'll keep an eye on how he develops throughout this race and how he goes chasing down that top 10. At the moment as well, he really is. I mean, we're going to have to keep a count on how many he can make up. Off this race start, though, biggest gainers so far, Blake Fitzpatrick. He's currently up 13 positions in this race at the moment, doing a stellar job in P15. 2 spots back from him, though, Sean Vandermeulen is up 15 positions and now inside the top 20, and he has been a big gainer thus far. On a couple of moments for some drivers out on track, but I think also as well, he's pushing nice and hard early on, making up some spots until he can get into a point where he finds a driver around his pace that he can work with to make his way through the field.
Yeah, and that's the hard, you know, the hard part and the key part. If you are going to try and work with someone who's at your pace, you know, and sort of, you know, accelerates the same point, brakes a similar point. Everyone has different braking points depending on, you know, their brake bias or their setup and, you know, their rig setup. You know, you can brake later with the higher end pedals as opposed to earlier with a lower end pedal. So that can also influence. So you want to try and get someone who is evenly matched in those areas. So, you know, your braking points, accelerations, your exit speeds, all those kinds of things. And that's not always easy to find.
No, it's really, and I think that's one of the toughest things for drivers to learn as well, is those little nuances of how do I find my preferred brake bias for this track? How do I get my car set up perfectly that I am comfortable racing around and actually can do those consistent laps instead of feeling like you're on edge consistently? As we can see on your screen now as well, Billy Moll has just dispatched a Mick Clifton, get it into the top 6. Pavlovic did it a little bit earlier as well. So those guys are now moving up towards the top 5. Cody Williams in the chat, wouldn't mind racing sometime soon. Just started iRacing, looks fun. Well, Cody, I will say, I believe our next season's sign-ups will be going live as of round 7, I do believe. As there's been an incident in the background with Mitch Noble just quickly. All of our details will be on our social media very, very soon. If you do, in the meantime, though, you can register as a driver at www.simracingworld.com.au. That's how Mitch Noble spun it round there at the second to last corner. That is www.simracing.com.au. It is linked in the description of the stream. Register as a driver. You can pay, I'm not sure if you can pay the series subscription and still sign up for some series for this season, but if you get your registration in, keep your details there for your registration. Once we've publicly put out on our Facebook page, SRW TV, or SRW over on Facebook, Sim Racing World, you'll see when our sign-ups are going live for next season. And you'll be able to register, you would have already been registered. Then what you got to do is just put your subscription in, which is $10 for the season, and you have access to every single series that we offer. And unfortunately, Sean Vandermeulen has made a mistake at turn 4, Steph, but he was very lucky not to end up in the wall off the back of that one.
Yeah, so easy to end up to be spat out to the exit stage left there. Well, he's lucky to get away with that.
Oh, very, very lucky. Off the back of that, he's dropped a couple of spots off it though, but it has now moved Andrew Rushworth into his 10th position gain of this race. Steph, he's now up inside the top 20 in P20 on the road, is the Team Apex Esports driver. with his retro on the car. We mentioned it earlier, it's a good looking retro. We love when drivers get some retros going. If any other drivers thinking about doing it for the Pro Series or the Pro Championship on Sunday night, please do it. Sandown is our unofficial retro round this season. So you don't have to run a retro, but we would love it if you did, because we love a bit of creativity, and it's just nice to freshen it up at least for one race and have a nice retro look to your car.
And it's confused all the commentators at the same time.
It's only Sinker that gets confused, it's not me.
Oh,
Not at all.
Look, I'm looking at these cars right now going, who the hell is who? So don't worry, Sinker, I'm with you.
I mean, even with the regular liveries, it happens for Sinker as well.
That's right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, fair enough. All right.
I caught you in 4K there.
Sorry, Sinker.
Yep. Just hit him with another iceberg off the back of that one.
I hope you're feeling better.
I hope you feel better soon, Sinker. We're also going to give a shout out as well to Brad Wall. He unfortunately couldn't race with us on Friday night, as he unfortunately had to. Unfortunately, his dog passed away. So our thoughts are with Brad. Good to see him back on track with us here tonight and having a solid race, and I hope he can get a solid performance off the back of it as well. So our thoughts are with Brad, and hopefully his memories are carrying forward in this race, and hopefully he can get himself a top 10.
Yeah, that'd be ideal for him tonight. He can move the car on up there, get it up top.
SDK is so easy to not mess up with, though. You have all the names right there, Sinker. Oh. How else are we meant to control it? Please tell me. We love a chirp. We love a good chirp, don't we, Steph? It's so good.
We do.
A bit further up, though, we're back with this battle with Michael Schroeder. He's on the back of Andrew Cow. Cowie's becoming a bit of a cork in the bottle at the moment, Steph. He's got Houghton, Schroeder, Taylor, Martin, Clutterbuck, Fitzpatrick, all on the back of him right now.
Got a few.
It's a tight battle. We are getting closer and closer, though, to possible pit stop territory.
Yep.
Pretty much the earliest that they could come in would be 20 minutes. They would then be forced to go half an hour on their next two stints, but it can be done. It's either that or they go to the half an hour, come in, do another half an hour, and then have a shorter splash towards the end. And unfortunately, Brad Wall has had a spin down at turn 3, and he's now dropped spots to both Rigby and Vandermeulen in behind him. Oh, you hate to see
Rushworth
it.
on his tail as well.
Yeah, he does. But he's gotten going again quite well, and he's right on Sean Rigby right now. Is he going to go for a move at the top of the hill?
Looks like.
Oh, could be scenes of Sandown 500s past. Oh my God, how have they survived it? I just had images of what's the driver's name? Todd Hazelwood. I just have images of Todd Hazelwood ending up in the wall with just his space frame left over. Oh my God. This is what happened to Brad down at turn 2-3. So he had Healy in behind him. He went off track at 1, and I guess he's then ended up. Oh, it's a big old compression lock. Healy's been forced to go off track. I don't know how Crow somehow managed to avoid him. Wow.
Very good avoidance there.
Very good avoidance right there. They were super lucky. But I guess that also then goes back to what we were making previously, that if you make a mistake at turn 1, it can almost wreck the rest of your lap. It almost just breaks the ego a little bit, breaks that concentration going forward.
It can. Oh, as we just see Schroeder and Cowie come together.
Wowee.
Oof.
So this is what happened with those boys down at Dandenong Road. Cowie looked a little bit unsettled. Oh, and he wasn't. Oh, Schroeder just tucked it up the inside.
Yep. Cowie wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. So what race control we'll be looking at now off the back of that one to give everyone a little bit of an inside view. To make their decision on that incident, what they'll be looking at now is if Michael Schroeder had overlap before Cowie's turn into that corner. If Michael has overlap, then Cowie must give him racing room on the inside. If he didn't, then it will look more in Cowie's favour of not getting penalised than it would be towards Michael. But if Michael did have overlap, then it may be called NFA. But they'll look at that from all angles. They'll get all the answers for it, and they'll break it apart and just see who would be at fault for that incident. But I don't know if Cowie would get penalised because it's a self-penalising move because he's dropped spots. So
yeah, it'd be interesting to see what race control come up with that one. With all their different angles and slow-mos and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, I mean, I recommend if anyone say if you're in SRW and you don't race on a particular night, just hop in the race or just ask them, hey, can I sit in with you guys just as a silent observer and just see the kind of levels of detail that they go to try and get the penalty right if there is one that's being applied. Now, they're human. Obviously, sometimes they can be wrong.
That's right.
But they go to as much detail as possible to try and be right every single time. Sometimes they can't be right though every single time. That's what happens. It's racing. They're human. We have the ticket system in place for that exact reason.
Steve Martin should put a move on Michael there.
It's done well to get it by him. It's unfortunate for Michael, I think. He's had a moment at that spot there as well. Either a bit of damage or maybe a bit of
that car's pushed in.
Might have a bit of mental
out of his groove.
Yeah, out of his groove a little bit, maybe off the back of that too. I want you to notice, I think Blake Fitzpatrick actually has technically a retro on his car tonight. I think it might be a bit of a John Player special retro for his car. The old black and gold. Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like the regular one he runs every week.
No, it's not.
As he looks to send it up the inside of Schroeder at turn 1. Lovely jubbly. Gets the move done. Nice and clean. And that's a fair effort there from Mr. Fitzpatrick. That is his 15th position now gained in this race as he comes up through turn 4. We've already had an initial pitter in this race. That being Mitch Noble at the moment. Drive-through penalty for car 263. Contact lap 17 with car 991. So they have determined that Michael Schroeder was at fault for that move. And I would say, I mean, we didn't look at it fully. I would say the reasoning would be he didn't have the overlap on turn.
Overlap. Yeah.
I'd say that would likely be the reason why they've claimed that. So
I would say so. Yeah. Overlap has the main one of the main things that guys look at. So
I'll tell you what, I like this stealth look on Fitzy's car. The black and the kind of metallic dubby yellow. It's nice. And
our cars do look good.
These
retros.
What is it about them and just absolutely cooking in the liveries department? Like they have got some fantastic liveries on offer. I'm excited to see what they do for next season. I am going to be honest, a little bit over the full blue on the cars. You know, let's change it up a little bit. Let's get some black in there. You know, let's get a bit more yellow maybe.
And yeah, really vibing that black and gold though.
Oh, it's a nice look. That looks pretty sweet. I would not
in
be
the
mad.
Chat, Steve.
I mean, we have a lot of black cars on track. I would not be mad if this was their livery going forward.
Oh,
this
no,
is
not at all.
It is nice.
If you're listening to us, Banksy,
get it
black
done.
And gold, mate.
Yeah, get it done. Black and gold. Yeah, bit of black. Even if it was like a matte black with this like brushed gold color. Oh, sensational.
Yep.
As Stephen Martin and Michael Schroeder bring their cars into pit lane, Schroeder will be committing to his drive-through penalty. Martin will be in for his first pit stop of the race. We are past the, well, we're at just about the quarter-way mark, Steph.
We are.
Tom Foster saying we here. Hey, it's beautiful.
Hey.
Well, I mean, it is fantastic. Brett Taylor, what a race he's had as well. He's already up 2 spots, Steph, inside the top 10 now as well. He's on for a strong performance here tonight in behind Mark Houghton. A couple of vets boys racing around together. We'll see how they go in the 1v1 here as they have Fitzpatrick chasing them down in towards the first pit stop of this race.
Yeah, it's some movers and shakers out there tonight. It's good. You know, the guys are doing well. They're keeping it fairly clean as well, which is good.
The biggest shaker at the moment, of course, is Michael Schroeder off his drive-through penalty.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate for him. Prior to that, it was Stephen Martin, although he's coming for a pit stop, so it actually would have been Jacob Traynor or Scott Lefevre at the back end of the field. Mitch Noble has not rejoined the track yet, Steph, since he's actually come in, and I feel he may be out of this race, possibly.
Possibly.
And it has just been pointed out to me, Jamie Davis has got a 5-second lead at the front of the field right now. He has just started to break away from Wade Sheedy. And you know what would be perfect, Steph? If right after the pit stops, and I mean the lap as they come out of pits, safety cars called.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Fresh restart, cars full of fuel, ready to rock on. Oh, it'd be glorious.
Some side-by-side action here with Craig Healy and Robert Crow at the minute. Along the back straight, they're swapping and changing. They're pulling out and faking to each other and everything else at the minute. So it's a good little battle there between the two of them.
Oh, nice little crack. This is for a top 15 position. They got some lap traffic with Brad Anderson. I believe Scott Lefevre is also out of this race as well, Steph, as he has not rejoined the track. PC issues for Mitch at the moment. That's why he's not actually rejoined the track as of yet.
That's unfortunate. Hopefully you can get the issues sorted out and get back on track for some points, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long race. We've technically, if we were on a normal round, we're only 7 minutes in. So he's still got...
That's right.
Just under, he's still got more than what would be for a feature of a sprint round left in this race.
Yeah, still plenty of time to get out there and cut some laps.
Oh, Brad Anderson has unfortunately just gotten himself in the wars once again. He's been away for a couple of weeks with some illness, up through 2 and 3. What did he do? Did he run it wide into the tyre barrier? Oh, this is oh my God, just a big old compression lock. Oh, and unfortunately it's caught out Michael Schroeder as well on the way through.
That's unfortunate there. He wouldn't have seen him spun there, or if he did, it would have been too late to try and take evasive action.
I mean, even if he knew he was there, where's he going to go? Like... He really has nowhere to go at that point. We are getting closer to the 1/3 way through this race here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So if you haven't already, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe, and the bell icon as well, so you are notified whenever we go racing here on SRW TV. As Brett Taylor's looking to line up a move now on Mark Houghton down towards Dandenong Road. Is Fitzpatrick going to make it 3 wide? No, he backs out of it. Oh, but he is prowling right now, Steph. Oh, big lock up though from Fitzpatrick! No. And Taylor's been involved.
He wouldn't have been able to avoid that, unfortunately.
What's he done down to Dandenong Road? So he's trying to find a pathway around, tries to go for the dive, and then it's just a big lock up.
Lock up.
Oh,
straight ahead.
Unfortunate there. Not much you can do, and you have to feel for Brett Taylor. Luckily for him, he's had the incident right on his pit stop, so he can at least come in and get that car fixed and keep going.
Yeah, hopefully, I do hope he does have a clean race moving forward, because I would have thought, potentially use his own fast repair. So hopefully, he'll have a cleaner race moving forward.
Well, he is in the lane. He's I think he's actually just come out. No, he's still in there. How does he stop going? 22 seconds. I'd say he'd be dropping in just a moment. Rebecca Brojan in the chat giving her love to her partner Mick Clifton, as well as to Mark Houghton as well, the Accelerate Sim Racing teammates. Brett Taylor has now just come out of pits all the way back in P25. He could still come back from this though. There's still a long way to go in this race, Steph, and he still has opportunities to make up these moves. But the question is, will Blake Fitzpatrick cop a penalty for that moment with Brett Taylor off the back of that at Dandenong Road.
Yeah, look, it's possible. So we've got a couple guys looking to go 3 wide down the main straight. A penalty is potential. I think he was trying to redress that as well, though. So hopefully that shines a bit on his side.
Yeah, maybe, but I mean, there's attempting the redress, being able to give the redress as well. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what race control say about it. They have the control in their hands. I'm trying to make it sound fancy for you, Beck. I'll be honest with you. We got to make it sound fancy. We love a bit of bougie in the names out there. Oh, this battle though, this has been cooking all race. I reckon Cowie's in ultra fuel save mode. Steph,
Yep.
I think he's attempting that 2-stop if he can.
He is.
There it is. That's for a separate. It's a car 686 drive-through penalty contact about 20 on lap 25, car 165. No, that is the incident with Fitzpatrick and with Taylor. So unfortunately, Fitzpatrick will have to do a drive-through penalty. We're at the half an hour mark. He may actually have to come in, do a pit stop, and then come back around and do the drive-through because I don't know if he can make too many more laps after that.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one, how he has to go around it. He's either going to have to do his pit stop or the drive-through.
Well,
you only get 3 laps to do a drive-through penalty, so before you get a DQ, so hopefully you can get it done.
Well, the top 3 are in the pit lane. Jamie Davis, Wade Sheedy, and Jason Douglas all in for their pit stops now. Matty Parker has gone a lap longer than them, though, on to lap 29 of this race. Tyson claiming that Cowie's going to do a 1-stop. Oh, we'll see.
Ooh.
Actually, no, yeah, they've gone to half an hour. That's a 2-stop strategy. They can pull that off.
Yeah.
Oh, if he's doing a 1-stop, he's going to go to 40 minutes without a stop and then do the same thing. Is he giving up too much time to the leaders over that time, though, Steph? I don't know.
How if he's looking after his tyres, he might be okay.
Well, he does have the one tyre change, which I'd say that those top 5 who came in, or the top 4 that came in, would not be taking their tyres at this point. They'd be taking them on the next stop.
That's right.
Davis has now rejoined the circuit in P6 on the road here tonight. Drive-through penalty, car 350, contact lap 24 with car 104. That is going the way of John Gallen out on track. So unfortunately, his night is only going from bad to worse. Let's see if we can find that incident to have a quick look at. If I can, of course. No, I can't. Apparently it doesn't exist. Oh no, that's why.
Okay.
Let's have a look. So, is it possibly this one here? This might just be Brad Anderson's one though. No, it's not that one. That was Brad Anderson's. So this was his incident earlier on lap 23. I don't know. I can't find it. Unfortunate. What happens though?
Might have been a bit of a bump and run or something.
Maybe. Yeah. Quite possible, as you've got a couple of cars coming to pit lane on your screen, I see.
I do. Robert Crow and Craig Healy have come into the pits.
So is Michael Quash, John Gallen's in for his drive-through, Peter Pavlovic. Clutters is in there as well. So
Fitzpatrick's got in to serve his drive-through. Or is he? No, he's on the jack stands.
Yeah, there we go. That's his pit stop. So he would have done his drive-through last lap, and now he's doing his...
doing his stop.
Yeah. So Davis is provisional leader of this race, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Houghton is yet to take his first pit stop of the night. We've had no safety cars just yet, Steph, so you're looking a little bit on wood for your 3 safety car pick.
I am. Look, every time I go to pick a first safety car, I always go over and beyond. I'm never right. So yeah, as much as I don't mind a flutter every now and again, I'm definitely not don't follow me with bets because it's never a sure thing.
Well, you know what I have just noticed, Steph, actually, while Sheedy and Douglas are too wide in towards turn 1, Douglas gets it done. Where's Davis? He's coming up to turn 4. On your screen, you have a battle for P17 on the road.
17, yep.
Davis is just behind that battle.
He is.
He is chasing down Craig Healy, Brad Wall, Robert Crow, who are battling it out for P17, and he is nearly lapped. Michael Schroeder's the next car on track and behind them to be lapped. Like, that's the battle up ahead on the road. We just saw it on the big screen.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It is insane how much he's been able to catch these guys. Like, he is just on song. A fantastic gap at the moment. 6 seconds on the road. Back to Jason Douglas in P2. Fitzpatrick's going to try and unlap himself now on Davis. Does Davis let him have it? Surely. Sorry, surely doesn't risk his race. No, Fitzpatrick's going to back out of it. Which, you know, Blake has every right to unlap himself.
Yeah. Providing he's not holding up too much.
Yeah, and you wouldn't... I mean, personally, I would say, as that's Rushworth going slow, and that's Brad Hayes going slow. He's had an off track at turn 2, 3, so this is what's happened to him. So he had Schroeder on his outside. Nearly collected his teammate on the way through as well.
Oh, here we go. He's done well to pull it up there.
He did very, very well.
And not cause further contact.
So I would say now, right, for Blake Fitzpatrick, sit on the back of Davis. See when he's allowed past Michael Schroeder and see if he can sneak the position. Just follow him through under the blue flags.
That's it.
You know, he's dragging you up onto the back of the people who are trying to chase down a race for position. Use him, use him as your tow hitch. Let him drag you through once he comes past under blue flags.
I have been a victim of that many a times. And I can tell you, I'm not very happy when I'm in the car and that happens. But you know what?
He's run it wide. So Fitzpatrick actually gets the free position now off the back of that as well.
Yes.
This could be a sound strategy from him.
Could be.
Oh, but the car is not looking sensible off the curbs though. That just it did not look stable.
It's not liking it.
You see though, Crow, Rushworth and Douglas, their battle continues down towards Dandenong Road. There's Jamie Davis. These guys will now have blue flags from Davis. If he goes for the move, they must let him have it. They cannot defend it. There's Crow. Oh, they've also now gotten past Craig Healy, who may have copped himself a slowdown. Well, there we can see Davis and Fitzpatrick once again. Oh, look at this strategy from Fitzpatrick. I mean... solid strategy, it's working.
It is. I was saying before, you know, I've been a victim of that many a times, and I do get annoyed when it happens. But hey, it's racing. It's, you know, good on him for having a go.
Well, Craig Healy then, he nearly kept him ahead. He nearly kept him ahead that time by. Couldn't quite do it though. Fitzpatrick had the run through turn 1. Oh, and then Douglas has had a lock up too. This might be strategy of the race thus far from Fitzpatrick. He's just getting dragged forward.
Get a free pass. He's loving life.
But he's going to have the inside line at Dandenong Road on Brett Douglas. Gets it done. Douglas is forced to run it wide. Oh my God, nearly collects Craig Healy.
Oh, that was intense.
Oh, he may call that in for a poor rejoin. I'm not sure. Oh my God, though. This race, there's been some fantastic battles out there. Phenomenal strategy thus far. We are so close to the halfway point of this race. Robert Crow's going to let them... He may not let Fitzy actually go past him. He's going to let Davis have the inside line. We'll see if Fitzy sends it as well. Davis comes across to claim his regular line. Yep, and all of a sudden, Robert Crow has managed to stop Blake Fitzpatrick from getting a free position thanks to blue flags there. Oh, but there's contact with him at turn 3.
Oh, he's trying to straighten him up. Oh, he's in the fence.
And that was Douglas in the fence as well in the background. I believe Rushworth. Oh, and Fitzpatrick's been the wall on the back straight.
Oh no.
So the blue flags already starting to claim some victims here, Steph, early on. Crow's likely going to need a tow back to pits. Fitzpatrick definitely will. No, he's driving back, actually. He does not need one. Wow, wowee.
That's just turned it on its head.
It really has. It really has. If either of these, if any of these guys can't make it back, then it's going to be, we could be in safety car city.
We could be. So
this is what happened to Brett Douglas at turn 3. So he was in behind Rushworth and Douglas. So Jace Douglas was trying to get his lap back. Brett didn't realise he was there, or he was trying to get past him under blue flag, sorry. Then this was Crow with Fitzpatrick. Oh, Fitzpatrick's just come off the curb and clipped the back of him. So then what's happened on exit is he caught the curb and then spun it round. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, he's overcorrected and bang into the wall. Unfortunate.
Ouch.
Yeah. Ouch, ouch indeed. And I believe, if I'm not wrong, the safety car is out on track.
Yeah.
I do believe. Because I think, now Robert Crow's moving. I think it's on track. Oh no, it's not. It's in the pit.
Still there.
Oh, no, it's actually no. It is on the end of pit lane. It's out on track.
Yeah, there we go.
So the safety car is out there, ladies and gentlemen. And this time it is Greg Leake back in the safety car. How good does it feel to have Leakey back?
Oh, it's awesome to have him back. It's been a while.
Where is he?
Rushworth just ran it wide at the last corner there. The second last corner.
This now gives the drivers a little bit of reprieve. Bit too early to come in. Oh, actually, no, they could. Could they come in now and make it home? No, they couldn't. No, they could take it. I think if you're at the back, you could definitely do it. There's a lot of wave arounds to do. I will say that. There's a heap of wave arounds to do. But they're gonna do it. I think what they're gonna do is they'll just pick up whoever's next in line as they come round.
Yeah, I'd probably personally jump in for a splash and dash and be on the way again. I'd say. I
suppose
that's a shorter fuel stop for you later on.
Saves you from fuel saving. Mole and Rigby are in, so they're doing exactly that. I don't blame them.
It's less stationary time next stop as well.
They're not a lap down. They've got plenty of time because the leaders are only just coming up Sandown Road. Mole's already out.
Yep. Yeah.
So it's that little splash of fuel.
Rejoin the back of the pack and off he goes.
I rate it. It's a good little move. So a lot of drivers now going to get their laps back. Yep, we are under safety car, Beck. Gowan's giving the love to Jace Douglas. I think it is, yeah. It's a good move. So safety car will lead the field. We're probably going to be under safety car for, I'd say, a couple laps at least. Just to get everyone sorted, get their laps back.
Yeah. Like it's a few to do.
Well, Jacob Trainor's one of them. He's making his way through now. So currently at the moment, genuine positions in this race, Steph. Daniel Clutterbuck, Sean Vandermilner into the top 10. Clutterbuck's up 12 spots, Vandermillen's up 23, and they've done their pit stops. They need one more to get home, but they are into the top 10. So is Brett Taylor, off the back of his incident earlier in the race as well. Everyone has done at least one stop in this race. They will need one more to get home, even if they have pit now. Now, it's a bit dicey if they come in the next 2 or so minutes. If they can get to 50 minutes, they can get home with half an hour left on the clock, plus an extra lap if they need it at the end of the time. Oh, do we see someone come in early and go for a bit of an undercut, Steph? Come in at the 50 minutes, change your tyres.
Good.
And then just rip it and dip it.
Definitely possible.
So what are we thinking? What's the prediction at the moment? Because all of a sudden, Jamie Davis is now back under pressure from Jace Douglas.
He is.
He's right on the back of him. Matty Parker's there. So's Pav. So's Sheedy. Not only that, we've also got you know, we're only a couple minutes away from possibly the last pit stop for some drivers.
Yeah.
We're not too far away from drivers taking their tyre change as well. Where are your thoughts at for this race? Because these guys are now they're not going to catch lap traffic for a significant amount of time, possibly another, I want to say possibly another 20 minutes. They might not actually catch traffic, which would really spice it up for the last 10 minutes of this race. Where's the head at, though? Do you think Davis is going to be able to pull this out now, or do you think because Jace is right on him, he's going to be able to stick with him for the majority of this?
I think Jace will stick with him for majority. He's definitely got the speed to do it. And yeah, now the field's sort of compressed again. I kind of want to say that any of the top 10 can go on. Actually, top 12.
Yeah, with Billy Mole there with his field strategy.
Yeah, you got Steve Martin there, you got John Gallen there, Clutterbuck, Vandermeulen. You've got some quick guys there. You got Cowie, Billy Mole. You know, they're not slow guys. Podiums are up for grabs.
Even Clifton as well. You know, and then we look at the split.
Yeah, he's only
side
just outside. Yeah.
We got Martin leading that split in P6. Vandermeulen and Taylor are on the podium, P9 and 10. Clifton, who started P1 for his class, is only just off the podium at the moment in P13, P4 in class, with Brad Wall, class position right behind him. So there's a lot to play, a lot to unpack across the rest of this race. I reckon we'll be going. A lot of the drivers have at least had one wave around. Some drivers may only get the one if they're multiple laps down. I'd say we're probably going to go green this lap, I think, because majority of the field is now backed up once again. Wave arounds have occurred, and we may not be too far away from getting green. Now, the question is, with the field so condensed, Steph, do we think this actually now counters at the option for having that undercut strategy of coming in at 50 minutes, going long in your final stint? Because if you come in at 50 minutes, you're going to go straight to the back of the field. There's no doubt about that with how close the field is now. Is it more worth going the extra 10 minutes, coming in at the hour, filling your car up and just pushing on home? Because I feel like that's what the majority of the field's going to do, and you're not going to give up too much track position.
Yeah. There's so many different variables to be able to do it. Realistically, I'd fill it up, slap on some rubber, and off I go.
Well,
and just send it.
That 10 minutes. That 10 minutes is going to be absolutely crucial. Realistically, that 10 minutes in this race is arguably going to be the most important 10 minutes of this race thus far, because it is between the point of when you can come in and get home and where you can go to off your last tank of fuel.
Yeah.
That's what's on offer right now. That's on the brink. Now, safety car's not pulled away yet, so I'd say we're actually going to go one more lap. And we are. So we've got one more lap under safety car. Pavovic, Martin, and Gallen are coming in, so they're rolling the dice, Steph. So's Taylor. I don't mind it.
The late call.
I don't mind it, though. It's not I think they probably have called it a bit late on this, but they probably waited for the time to go down. By the time they come out and they're under safety car, they could get home. I do not mind it, but the risk that they're playing at now is they're in a field, or they're in the pack of slower cars that they not only have to try and get around, they're cars that are more likely going to have incidents on track. So that's the problem they now find themselves in.
I think it might just depend on on the driver as well they're coming up against. You know, some of them are fairly track smart, race smart in the terms of, you know, they're faster than me. Am I going to lose too much time? You know, how will this end for me? Do I just let them go and not battle, you know, a high class driver? You know, do I try and battle them and go for track position? You know, overall position. Personally, knowing how quick they are and being, you know, obviously they'd be in they're in a higher class than myself. I just let them go.
Well, they're not all in the higher class though. I mean, Taylor and Martin, they're in the pro-am. You know, they're in the split. They're split two. You know, split two. What was what was AMS last season. They're going to be now coming through the entire split 2 field. No one's going to want to let him go because that's now for position.
No.
You know?
But you've also got the fact of those guys will need to have a longer stop at the end.
Well, no, but
potentially their second stop.
It's not just longer stop. They'll need a pit stop. Those guys won't need a pit stop now.
No.
Because they've been able to save fuel under the safety car. We're at the point where you can come in, you can make it home. I mean, it's an interesting strategy. We'll see how it plays off. We're going to get underway, though. Jamie Davis is going to lead them round. He's going to go straight away up towards the start-finish line. We are green flag running once again at Sandown. And this is where it gets a little bit touch and go, Steph. This is where we get a little bit, what's going to happen, because safety car restarts, especially with a field this big, can be complete chaos, especially with drivers who are on alternate strategies trying to make their way back through the field. And those are the exact mixture that we have at the moment in this little Tuesday night cocktail we've got going on. It could be a cocktail for disaster. It could be one that we sip on and we go, that's nice. Very good job. And
That's right.
I don't know where we're at yet with that. I don't know where we're at with it.
It's too hard to pick.
It really is. It really, really is.
It's too hard to pick.
At the moment, we have got 4 cars out of this race at this stage. Blake Fitzpatrick, Michael Quash, Scott Lefevre, and Mitch Noble as well. As we come round to start lap 42 of this race, Jamie Davis and Jason Douglas are all over the back of each other at the front of the field. Jason Douglas has just set the fastest lap of the race with a 107.32. So he is pushing hard on the back of Jamie Davis right now of Team SRW Motorsports. He wants to stick with him. He doesn't want to give him another 6.5 second lead at the front of the field. He wants to stay with him, keep applying this pressure, and fight for a race win at Sandown. We've got just over 25 minutes to go, Steph, in this race, and everything is on offer in this race. Split 1, overall, split 2, all the wins are on offer, all the podiums are on offer, and it's whoever can survive the last portion of this race will take home the glory, take home the chocolates, if you will.
Yeah.
And we'll come down as our winner here tonight.
It's all on for young and old and across the whole board now. It's, you know, hopefully it's a bit of a sprint. Not really a sprint, but you can call it.
It kind of is.
Some of it's a sprint to the end. Some of them it is.
Well, at the moment we have a drag race down towards turn 1. Douglas trying to get it done down the inside of Davis. Move for the lead. Davis is still there. They're going to be side by side into turn 2. No, Davis has to give it up, and Douglas takes the lead of the race as they now come up through turn 4. And we'll see if Jace Douglas now can survive as the one being hunted by Jamie Davis, the hunter, in behind him. The other screen, we got Brad Wall battling it out at the moment with Michael Schroeder. That's at the back end of the top 10. They got Mick Clifton just ahead of them as Douglas and Davis continue this battle on down towards Dandenong Road. Hard under brakes. It's a corner that's caused so much controversy here tonight, Steph. And we just hope and pray every time they come into that corner that they can keep it clean, keep it mean, and look ahead to continue this fight to laps further into this race.
It's definitely one of the harder corners on this track. If you carry a little bit too much speed, it's easy to lock a brake. All that, it's a critical corner. It can make or break your lap. It can make or break your race.
As we get on to lap 44, 54 minutes into this race. At the moment, the 4 drivers who came in on the last lap of that safety car, Peter Pavlich, John Gallen, Brett Taylor, Stephen Martin, they have now made up a spot over Di Feldman on track, so they've at least made up 1 spot back into this. And they are all over Martin Lipsky, who has got blue flags on these guys, as well as Brad Anderson. So realistically, when these guys, as Pab's trying to get through, I mean, we've spoken about this, just because these guys are not the leader, they have blue flags on you. When they go for a move, you can't defend it. Lipsky now lets them go. You can't defend the move. That's the ruling on blue flags. If they go for it, you cannot battle them for it.
That's right. You can't block.
No, you can't block. You cannot defend it. You just have to give them, if you can, obviously, you know, driver's personal code, it's easier just to give them the line and just move over for them. You don't have to do that, but what you have to do is just not defend. You just have to you have to allow them to take the position from you, whether it's into a corner or not.
Yeah. Yeah, it's also a penalty offence for not obeying blue flags also. If you're holding them up too much and they do pull it through, you can be penalised for it as well.
I believe, I'm not sure the exact distance, I believe most series run, you have a lap to let them through. I'm pretty sure. If it's a constant blue flag across the whole lap, I think that's what it is. Like if they are literally on you, like, you know, 0.2 of a second right behind you the whole lap, I mean, you got a straight. You can move over, slight lift of the throttle, they go past, easy done.
That's right.
So I mean, it's not too difficult. As Wade Sheedy has now moved past Matty Parker back into the top 3. Looks to chase down Jason Douglas, who currently holds the position that Sheedy qualified in P2 on the road. Bit further back, we've got Daniel Clutterbuck up 15 spots. He's into the top 5 with a magnificent performance thus far for TMX. He's got Andrew Cowan in behind him. Brad Walls into pit lane for his second stop of the race. We've got 23.5 minutes of this race to go. Well and truly can make it home with a pit stop now. So we'll see how it goes for a lot of drivers. In fact, Pav, Gallen, Taylor and Martin have actually all come out and stayed ahead of Brad Wall at the moment. Rigby is now battling it out with Michael Schroeder. 2 wide in towards 2 and 3. As they have a battle with Rushworth, King and company in behind them at the moment. Where is Billy Mole? Billy Mole, who came in at the start of that safety car for a little splash, is now up to P7. Now, he will need a pit stop, but it will be a significantly shorter pit stop than the likes of Davis and Douglas at the front of the field. These guys as well are battling. They've got Sheedy in amongst it as well. This could be one hell of a gain now for Mole as Davis brings it in. So he's not willing to lose time battling with Douglas. I think that's the smart play there, Steph. Let him go. Let these guys battle. Get into some clean air. Hope that you get yourself into a nice little tidy section of track that you can battle in, but not get held up. That's what Davis will be hoping for right now.
That's right. Yeah, and it's a smart move for him. Keep it, you know, try and keep his momentum going as well.
Well, he is going to come out P22 on the road. He has got 30 seconds to the leaders at the moment, so he's lost half a lap to Sheedy, Douglas and Parker. If I was Matty Parker right now, I'd come straight into the pit lane, counteract the undercut, let these two battle, and come out with Davis and work with him to stay clean and stay forward and stay in the battle with him for the win. You know, because realistically, they're battling on track, they're battling for P1. You're not going to get the checkered flag in the next lap.
No.
Is it worth battling this hard for this position right now? Are you getting realistically held up? Oh, but Douglas and Parker are in. Sheedy stayed out. So what's interesting now is Sheedy has stayed out. He's now got clean track. He does not need to battle anyone. So now, this may actually favour him in comparison to Jamie Davis, who's struggling to get past some of the slower traffic at the back of the field.
Yeah, it's gonna spice it up. See where he pops out in the field there. So he's missed.
I've just seen Jason Douglas is out of pit lane and he is ahead of Jamie Davis. Matty Parker's come out. He's still in behind him, but they are amongst each other right now, Steph. So the battle's on. And they're amongst the pack. They don't have blue flags to help them through this traffic, apart from Mark Houghton, who is a lap down. Oh, this really spices it up right now. This really does, because Jamie's got nowhere to run away. He has to stay with it. Neither does Jace. They're going to be stuck together like glue.
They will be. They're just gonna have to work together to get back up to the front.
So now,
it's the only way out of it now.
We have to look at Wade Sheedy, who leads the way. He's flashing the lights. He for sure goes as long as possible. Takes advantage of this clear track. Takes advantage of being able to run round, doing laps without being in a battle. I think Wade comes out back in the provisional lead. Because the traffic is a major factor now. Oh, yeah, that's another big factor as well. Hayes and Martin.
Get through that.
Oh my God.
Wow. How did he make through that?
As Davis is now trying to line it up on Douglas down towards turn 1. How has he survived?
His reaction's like a cat. Goodness me.
It really is. And
How
actually,
did he get through that?
One thing we haven't even noticed either, Steph. Pavlovic, Gallen and Taylor. They're ahead of Jamie Davis.
They are. Yep. That strategy has worked out for him there to pit late on that, or late on that safety car. Up to P9, P8 respectively.
But now the question is, do they need a fuel save? Because if they need a fuel save, then Davis will eventually catch them and he'll be out of battle with them. If they don't, they can go, balls to the wall. What happens? Davis has to hope they get caught up in a battle. These guys are not going to battle each other, they're teammates. He has to hope they get caught up in a battle and they get slowed up and he rubber bands up to the back of them. That's what he has to hope for right now.
That's right, yeah.
And then you look at Wade Sheedy, the fact of him. If he gets to 30 seconds ahead of Peter Pavlovic, he comes out ahead of him. Right now, he'd be coming out around where Jamie Davis is, which is P12.
P12.
That's about 30 seconds back. Now, Wade may be able to take slightly less fuel than what Jamie does. He may have saved a bit under the safety car. He might be able to go for another 5 minutes. And all of a sudden, he only needs 15 minutes worth of fuel, and it's a short stop.
Yeah.
It's such a fine balance. It's such a
touch and go.
It's so touch and go.
It's too hard to pick.
It is. It really is. And I know the field's spread out right now. I know everyone's spread out. But this is what happens in an endurance race. You get so many different strategies at play. Even though this is a condensed enduro where they're forced to make pit stops early and it only runs over 80 minutes, it has the feelings of an endurance race.
It does.
Tom, Jamie ended up 30 seconds off the back of the leaders when he took his pit stop. That was how far back he went off his pit stop. You have to then assume... So how long was his actual stop? It was 13.6 seconds. If Wade needs the same amount of time on the pit stop, he's still going to lose the same amount of time as what Jamie did.
Yeah.
Because that's the trap. That's how much you've lost under the stop. So, it's spicy, Sam. It is spicy right now. You could not pick it, and you really couldn't.
No.
Oh, it is so intriguing how this is now going to play out. Because realistically...
Jamie Davis has just gotten past Jared Williams also.
Okay, so Davis has now made a pass in the background. As he looks to chase these guys down. So now what's on offer is, right, so Pavlovic, where is he provisionally? He is provisional.
Pav's P8.
Yeah, he's P8. He's P8 overall. Provisional being where would he end up when the cars ahead of him all pit? Right now, he's P1.
Yeah, wow. There you go.
As it stands, he'd be P1. Gallen would be P2.
P2.
I think there's some sardines in the water from Stephen Banks. There quite possibly could be. Quite possibly could be. So we haven't gone back to have a look at this yet. Let's quickly just check out what happened with Brad Hayes and Stephen Martin. This was down at the final corner. We saw it before with Douglas coming through. You can see here they go too wide into the first corner. They're still too wide. Oh, it's a bit of net code that's done it. And he's waited to try and redress. Could have ended so poorly. But we're very, very lucky there.
Very lucky with that.
So we have 15 minutes just about left in this race, Steph. Wade Sheedy leads the way by 10 seconds back to Billy Mole. Billy Mole, another driver we haven't even considered. He came in on lap 36. Sheedy came in on lap 35. Oh, okay. Actually, that makes it really interesting. That actually makes it really interesting of what can his strategy be then? And where do they end up? Gary saying never get Jamie's done. Yeah, but the problem is, though, Gary, Jamie might be going a second faster per lap, but he has to be able to get past drivers as well. He doesn't have clear track ahead of him like what Wade does.
That's right.
So Wade's got clear track. He might be fuel saving to make it home. He came
Martin's just dented up the inside of Brad Hayes. Sorry, cut you off.
That's fine. That's all
Turn
good.
one.
So, I mean, there's so many little things we can pick apart from this of what the strategy may be for some drivers. I overlooked a little bit that Wade Sheedy came in under the safety car. Oh, that makes it interesting of what his pit stop would look
Does he
like.
have to step? Because he would have to stop again.
He would. So would Billy, because of when they came in. Unless they've just been in maximum fuel save mode under the safety car.
Possible. But would you save enough in those few laps?
I don't know.
To eliminate a complete pit stop?
Well, they would have to save 4 laps of fuel to get onto the same strategy as Peter Pavlovic, John Gallen, Brett Taylor. Robert Crow's now in the pit lane, so they've now made up that position for free.
I don't know if you'd be able to save that much fuel.
I don't know. This is incredibly interesting. We've got 14 minutes to go. John Gallen is on the back of his teammate Peter Pavlovic. Then it's Brett Taylor, then Jamie Davis in behind them. And these guys are not going to be so eager just to let Jamie pass them because they are battling for genuine position right now on track. They might be on different strategies, but they are battling for position inside the top 10. They've got 13 and a half minutes to go. You do not want to give any freebies right now, especially in amongst the top 10 with the questions of fuel strategies and who can make it home. You need to maximize on where you are on track. One position given up could be one position off the podium. You never know. As Taylor was trying to line it up on Gallen there, wasn't quite close enough to get it done that time by. Davis is right behind, giving him a big hurry up onto the main straight. Lap 55 now. 13 minutes to go, so it is getting into clutch time here, Steph.
It is.
And the strategies at play, you could not pick them apart, even if you were a college-level mathematician. Like, this is some minute calculations that'll be on offer right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to pick. I can't pick it as to how it's gonna play out at all. Wow.
One thing we can pick is we're going to be in for a spectacular finish, no doubt about it.
That's right, either way.
So how did Jace end up so far back from Davis? So Davis has managed to get past some of the traffic faster than what Jace did. Jace has ended up back in behind Parker, who's actually now defending him for position. So this has now allowed Jamie to break away and actually go up to the battle up ahead. So he's actually rubber banded himself onto the back of Brett Taylor once he left Jason behind Matty. So that's how that sort of come into play. So that's how Jace has lost out so much to Jamie at this point. The problem now is Jamie also has to try and get past Brett, John and Pete. He also doesn't want to risk getting himself any more penalties by pushing it too hard either. I don't know. This is going to be tough. Pavlovic, though, has a less than successful run across the curb. That would hurt the spine for sure. Oh, this is such an interesting prospect to how this race could finish. One thing you can guarantee, it is going to be a spectacular one, no matter who takes out the win. Frankston secondary, that'll be a good... Oh, there'll be a goon bag short. Steve Banks loving this race. See how strategy works out. I love a strategic masterclass, and we've got that many different strategies on play. It's filled out a university textbook right now. Gallen and Taylor going to try and cover that inside line. They're allowed the 2 moves down towards the braking zone with Davis in behind them. They managed to still hold him off for now. 10.5 minutes left. It is crunch time. If Sheedy needs the stop, if Mole needs the stop, if Rigby, who's come out of absolute nowhere, needs a stop, as well as Cowie, who's attempting a one-stop strategy. Oh, it could be up in it's up in the air right now. So, I mean, that you mentioned it before. that whole, arguably, top 12 have an opportunity to win this race right now. Any of them could win it.
Jamie Davis has sent it up the inside on Brett Taylor. And
Down
too
in
wide.
towards Dandenong Road. He's gotten it done. So that's one position now for Davis, and Gallen had it off track. That makes it 2. So all of a sudden, Steph, the effort becomes ever so clearer for him. And he now realistically just has to race past Peter Pavlovic. And then he's got the likes of Healy and Clifton up ahead. But how does the strategy work for them? Where do they end up at the end of this race? We've got 9.5 minutes to go. It's anybody's game. Sheedy leads, Mole in behind, who could have been on pole position. You cannot pick it right now. You really can't. And normally,
it's too much.
normally you'd have a clear-cut idea of who is in contention. We have got no idea who's in contention right now. Apart from the fact that it's from P1 down to P12, any of them can win. Any of them can win. We can't even.
Too hard.
It really is. You can't even guess who the provisional leader is because we don't know if they need the stop. Di Feldman's had a crash in the background though.
No.
And she's in the tyre barrier at what appears to be turn 4. Could this be a late break safety car?
Oh, possibly.
Oh, it's at turn 3, so she's off the track and in the grass. And she's parked it up, so maybe she's gotten going again. So she was waiting for the traffic. Oh my God, what that would have thrown up for us. It makes you sick. Just thinking about the prospect of what a safety car would bring right now.
Got a battle between Matty Parker and Jace Douglas up here. They're faking each other.
No, thanks Race Control for letting us know of no safety car. We appreciate it. We assume that. Oh, but that's one of the TMX cars spun around as well. Rigby and Cowan are currently battling it out for P3 on the road. Do they need the stop to get home? Cowie's called something in. I don't know what for.
Interesting. This is... Wow. This is turning on its head.
It really could. I'm not sure. Do you have them on ear to hear what they're saying or no?
I don't, unfortunately. No.
Okay, so it's a sneaky conversation. We're not sure what they're having. Roll the dice for the winner. I mean, you'd have to roll about 10 dice, I think, for the winner right now. There are so many different combinations of how this race could end. One thing's for certain is Wade Sheedy, who is 12.3 seconds up the road from Billy Mole. If he needs the splash, he doesn't end up back as far as Davis now. I don't think he does.
Oh, I wouldn't think so.
Oh, would he drop out of the top 3? His stop was 5 seconds shorter than Billy's was, and they were only 1 lap separated.
I reckon I think he might still be in the top 3, but top 4, but just exactly where. Look,
so
hey, he
tough
might pop back in the 2 or 3, but it's
gonna. I mean, they're gonna have at least. He'll have at least a 30-second travel time. It's dependent on how long his stop is. That's the question. And if Billy needs to stop, if Rigby needs to stop, all of a sudden Cowie on the one-stop strategy is home. Oh, it is so tight right now on who it could be out of any of them. Less than 6 minutes left.
Wow.
It is edge of your seat stuff for any of the killer strategists out there. Pavlovic has now made it onto the back of Craig Healy in the battle for the top 6. Davis is all over him like a wet rag.
Yep.
Oh, this is intense. It is intense as you could ever ask for from a Tuesday night enduro, ladies and gentlemen, through the qualifying and the top 10 shootout upsets that happened for a lot of the drivers not being able to get in a lap for whatever reason. This is now crunch time. This is where everything is on the line for these drivers. 5 minutes left. Davis all over Pavlovic in the battle for P7. Davis is just trying to get it tucked up the inside. He's the last of the late breakers. He's gotten it done at turn 1. There's Jamie Davis.
He did well to pull that up. My goodness me.
Incredibly well. With Healy now in his sights, and Pavlovic's had a big old slide off the exit. That's now going to take him off the back of Jamie Davis. And he's now lost the pressure that was in behind him, Steph, and now it's maximum pressure on Craig Healy, who's P6 on the road. Into Dandenong corner. Up the inside, no, couldn't quite get the run on Healy. Davis is going to try and send it. Oh, again, he's being very patient with this, Steph, which is very good.
Good, it's good. Just send it, turn 1 again.
Oh, I think so. He's going to try and line this up. He's got the toe, going to get alongside. Will Healy cover or will he let him have it? He's half covering. Davis trying to get it done. Last late breakers again.
There he goes, straight up the inside.
He's got the move done.
Got it done.
We are 3.5 minutes to go. It is maximum pressure on Wade Sheedy. Can he make it home on his fuel? Can Billy Mole, out of absolutely nowhere, make it home on his fuel? Can Sean Rigby, 16 positions up from where he started on debut like his teammate Wade, make it home on his fuel? Those are the questions that are being asked, ladies and gentlemen. Sheedy's going to keep on going at the front end of the pack.
Oh, Schroeder's just had a spin. He was up alongside Brad Wall, going into turn 1.
Oh no.
How little come together and off he went.
Oh, unfortunate there for Michael Schroeder. Oh, that's oh no, he got away with that region actually.
Got away.
Yeah, he got away with it.
Yeah. It was well timed.
It was.
Very well timed.
Very luckily timed as well. Oh, I mean, now it is looking like, I mean, surely Wade can make it home. Surely he can. If he's gone this long on the fuel save, surely he gets it home.
He's got to commit. This far in, he's got to commit.
Well, actually, let's think about this. He's done. He came in on lap 35. When did Cowie come in? Lap 32. So Cowie right now is on wood for needing a pit stop. Oh, can he do it? You have to go 35 laps on a tank. That would take him to lap 70, but we're not going to make lap 70. 2 minutes to go. 2 laps to go in this race for Wade Sheedy.
He can do it.
I think he can. If he's this confident to go without needing a pit stop, and if he's going to attempt to... I mean, if you were going to come in, you wouldn't come in on the last lap, would you? You'd come in prior to the white flag.
That's right. Either that, or he's got just enough to make it over the line.
Oh, he might be... I mean, he's got 12.7 seconds.
Got a gap. That's right. He's got a decent gap.
Yeah, he's got the gap.
He might even just be clutching it.
He might be.
Lifting off a bit earlier. Shifting earlier with that gap. He can afford to. Let's be honest.
It's been a killer race for some of these drivers out there, Steph. Vic Clifton started P5 on the road. He's found his way back there right now, although he has Jamie Davis just about to come past him, so he's now P6. But he still leads the split 2 field. White flag lap for Wade Sheedy, and we'd have to expect him to be able to make it home on the smell of an oily rag at the moment. After going 30, he's gone 31 laps on this tank actually, so even with safety car saving, realistically speaking, he should be well and truly able to get it home. Up round turn 4, bit of lap traffic ahead of him. Bob said Cowie's gone 3 laps longer and is still going. This is very true. He has done.
Yeah.
Oh, but what a prospect for this kind of strategy play. And I'll be interested to see how this now plays out on Sunday night with the pro drivers in the field as well. Down towards Dandenong corner for the final time for Wade Sheedy. It's been dominant since he came out of pit lane after that safety car. Did it save him? Or was it a fall from grace for other drivers?
Gallo just had a wiggle, lost 2 spots to Matty Parker and Jace Douglas coming out of Dandenong.
Well, as Sheedy, though, comes round the final corner on debut, is going to take the win here tonight at the Sandown Enduro. P1 on the road after starting P2. Billy Mole, who could have gotten the pole time in the shootout, has found his way up onto the podium and 6 spots up. And Sean Rigby will make it a double podium for Platinum here on debut with P3 and 16 spots up from where he started. Mick Clifton, after starting in the top 5, is going to come home P1 for split 2 on the road with Taylor and Healy in behind him. What a race, though.
What a race. Oh, that was epic.
Unbelievable.
That's incredible. Could not pick it.
You really couldn't.
Those strategies could not pick it.
They were... I mean, we questioned some of them. We thought this is going to be by the books, even with the safety car. But we can still be amazed, even through a race like that, with how strategy can work out in a supercar. That is unbelievable how some of those strategies worked for some of those drivers.
Yeah.
And the fact that these guys from Platinum have come in, not only got a car into the shootout, not only got a car up 16 spots onto the podium, also took a win and made it a double podium off the back of that. That is incredible. That's one of the best debut team performances I have seen in a long time here on Tuesday nights. That is exceptional.
They've done well. Very well. Goodness.
So Rigby is going to wait. He's going to start the burnouts for us on the main straight to celebrate that race win in what can only be described as exceptional fashion from him. I mean, what a debut. What a prospect for this series going forward. He can't challenge for the championship. He's begun too late. But next season, all eyes will be on this guy right here, Steph. All eyes will be on him.
Will. But Mick Clifton out there as well, doing some burnouts for us as well, out on the straight.
See him lighten it up there. Oh, they've done.
There with Billy Mole.
they've done exceptionally well. I mean, Billy Mole, after the heartbreak in that shootout.
Wow. Oh, he didn't need that. He didn't need to get that pole.
No, he. Maybe he did.
He might have made it easier for him.
He might have won if he did. I mean, who knows?
Well, that's true.
But what a race. What a race for these guys. Let's get some B-roll happening in the background. We've got Mole parked up on the start line to show off his retro livery. A fantastic effort here tonight by a lot of these drivers, ladies and gentlemen. And we will get up, if the replay is going to move out of my way, there it will. We'll get up our provisional race results for round number 6, season 3 of 2024. It was Wade Sheedy in P1 position for Platinum Racing here this evening, ahead of Billy Mole of Nova Sim Sports and Sean Rigby in P3 of Platinum Racing as well. Andrew Cowan and Jamie Davis will make up the top 5 ahead of Mick Clifton in P1 for Split 2 for Accelerate Sim Racing, ahead of Peter Pavlovic and Brett Taylor and Craig Healy making up the podium for Split 2. Matty Parker will then make up the top 10 with Jace Douglas, John Gallen, Stephen Martin, Brad Hayes and Brad Wall making up the top 15 on the road here tonight. We then have Josh King, Michael Schroeder, as well as Sean Vandermill and Robert Crow and Jacob Traynor making up the top 20. Andrew Rushworth, Di Feldman, Jared Williams, Daniel Clutterbuck, Brett Douglas will make up the top 25 with Mark Houghton, Martin Lipsky, Brad Anderson making up the final runners, Blake Fitzpatrick, Michael Quash, Scott Lefevre, and then further back, if it's going to show it, I don't think it's going to, Mitch Noble, our last driver in the field here tonight. But What a race, Steph. What a race. What a way to spend a
was
Tuesday
insane.
night.
How else would you want to spend your Tuesday night?
I mean, how would you?
Honestly,
How else would
this
you?
is the best way to do it. SRW TV on YouTube, on Facebook, watching one of the best races this week.
This was arguably one of the races of the season thus far across the board.
Yeah.
We'll drag in Mick Clifton, our Split 2 winner. Mickey Clifton, top 10 shootout, top 5, and then P1 for the Split 2 field and a top 6 in the race, mate. What a way to put a complete performance together.
Yeah, that was hard work.
Well, mate,
Did you ever think you were going to end up with P1 by the end of that?
No, I thought Vandermeulen had me covered, and I thought a few others did. The safety car cost me a fair bit. I got stuck behind slow people.
Mick, did you do a love heart burnout on the start finish straight?
I don't know, maybe.
According to your partner, you did.
Yeah. I try.
What a romantic you are, Mr. Clifton. But I mean, that was a long one, mate. I mean, could that safety car come at a better time for you just to get a nice little break before the final sprint home?
Yeah, well, maybe one more lap. I was really tight on petrol and I was saving, but I didn't need to. I ended up with a few laps left.
Yeah, that was, I mean, we were trying to wrap our heads around it of, actually, you know, what's the strategy tonight? Because we thought it was going to be quite cookie cutter of what we've previously had where you can come in at 20 minutes, go to 50 minutes, then make it home, or come in at the half an hour, come in at the hour, and then make it home. And it just wasn't like that tonight. It really developed as the race went on. And I don't even have a clear picture of how the strategies actually work for a lot of drivers outside of maybe Cowie, who did a one-stop and made it home. I mean, it's probably way too technical for what my brain can handle right now, I think.
Yeah.
But regardless, I mean, it was an exceptional performance from yourself to get into the shootout, qualify in the top 5, get the P1 on the road for Split 2. Let us know who helps get you out on track, mate. Anyone else you want to give a shout out to as well? And for myself and Steph, congratulations on your class win here tonight out at Sandown in the 80-minute Enduro.
Yeah, cheers, Hamish. Thanks, Steph. Yeah, I'd just like to thank the whole team and Mark Horton. He's in there helping me out all the time. And Primal Wheels, Abby Timber, Box and Lock Narang, and just Accelerate Sim Racing and the missus for cheering me on.
Oh, very good, mate. Congratulations on your performance here tonight. Best of luck next week. I believe we're at Oran Park next week. Let me check.
It is.
Yeah,
yes.
Oran Park next week. Best of luck next week at Oran Park. I won't be in on
thanks,
the
Hamish.
No worries, mate. I won't be in for the next 2 Tuesday nights, so I hope to hear good things about your performances before the final round.
Oh, well, I'm glad
I
I got interviewed by you. I feel like I've made it now.
Very good, mate. Best of luck in the upcoming rounds ahead towards the end of the season.
Cheers, people.
Thanks, mate.
Catch you, Mickey.
Oh, what a run home
Wow.
from Mick Clifton. What a character.
Oh, he's gold, isn't he?
What an absolute character.
legend.
We'll drag in Sean Rigby on debut here tonight. Mr. Rigby on debut didn't make the shootout. Who cares? 16 positions on the podium. Where have you and Wade just magically appeared from? Because I'm going to be honest, I've never seen either of you in a league race before.
Yeah, right. Yeah, funny story. The top 10, my pedal actually was just locked on full, so I couldn't set a time. Like I set, I think, 8 at 2, and yesterday I think I did a 6.9 or something. So, yes, so that wasn't planned there, but it was a good race. Really good race.
Well, mate, can you talk us through some of this strategy? Because we're still trying to wrap our head around it of how in the hell you and Wade made it home after pitting on lap 35. I suppose the safety car may have had a part to play, but how have you both just done that? Because you've just snuck your way through like a silent assassin, and Wade's been there the whole time. How have you guys put that forward, and how has this come together for this almost complete race for both of you to get your double podium?
I don't know how to say it, seriously. At the end of lap 1, I think I was P32. I got spun around, and then next one on podium. No, but in all honesty, I think it was just we pitted on lap 30, and then safety car came out on lap 35, like you said, and just took tyres on our second stop and just filled it up again and managed to get home. Like, I think we had probably about a lap and a half of fuel left. So
Okay.
that was about it.
Interesting. So it's, I guess then, because the safety car arguably had to go 2 laps longer for the amount of lap traffic it had to let by, that probably saved you in the end because it's 2 extra laps you got to save and it really cut down on the race time. Because I think we were under safety car for about 10 minutes, I think it was. So that really probably actually saved your race, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't realize that. So yeah, definitely, we probably would have been pitting again, to be honest. So.
Oh, mate, it was an exceptional performance from yourself and your team over at Platinum Racing. Let us know if there's anyone out there that you want to give a shout out to, or if there's anyone from your team that you want to give some love to as well. And congratulations from myself and Steph and the rest of the league on not only getting into your debut race, but also getting a debut podium on the back of it as well.
Yeah, it's awesome. Cheers, guys. Just a shout out to Wade. You know, just the setup was just amazing to drive. Shout out to the missus and to the young one, Matthew. And yeah, just shout out to the boys at Platinum who just still great job all the time.
Very good, mate. Well, phenomenal effort. Best of luck next week at Oran Park. I look forward to watching that one back. I won't be here next week, unfortunately, but I hope you guys can continue this strong run, because if you guys can keep the momentum up and come in next season, you could be proper title contenders next season, mate. So I look forward to seeing how you go.
Yeah, cheers, buddy. Have a good night.
You too, mate. Oh, Steph, we will drag in the man with arguably the best name in the entire field, Mr. Billy Mole. Billy, we spoke to you during the shootout. Our hearts broke for you in the shootout, but did you even need pole?
That strategy. Oh, I was debating for the whole safety car stint. I was like, was this worth it? Am I going to have to pit again? Matt and Sean were telling me like I couldn't have done it. And I was like, oh, I feel safe so much under that safety car.
I'll be honest. We had no idea who was going to win that one. We had no idea if any of you can make it home on your fuel.
The last 5 minutes, we're like, what's happening?
Yeah. I was. It took me a couple of laps for my fuel calculator to figure it out, but once I saw it was all good, I just went as fast as I could. And yeah, I ended up with 5 litres over the line.
Oh, so you had ample then in the end.
Yeah, I had a fair bit.
Unbelievable. Well, we spoke to Sean about the fact that, that safety car probably went about 10 minutes on track for 2 extra laps. And we think that that's probably what actually saved both the Platinum drivers. Do you think that's also the case for you in the fact of it probably did actually allow you to save enough fuel to get to the end, but also cut down on that race time as well?
Yeah, it helped me get to the end easily. If it did one less, I think it would have been tight. But yeah, that definitely helped a lot to get to the end.
Okay, very interesting. I'm trying to pull these pieces together so I can think about it when we have the broadcast on Sunday. But I mean, incredible performance. It was tough luck in the shootout, but you managed to put all the pieces together in the race. Let us know how helps get you and Nova Sim Sports out on track, and anyone else you want to give a shout out to as well.
Stiff Rigs and Pro Plumbing, great lads. Help us keep the cars on track. Cheers.
Very good, mate. Best of luck for Oran Park next week. I look forward to watching back how you go. I don't get to call it live next week or for Bathurst the week after, so I'm a bit heartbroken.
You missed Bathurst. Oh, no.
I know. I'll miss Bathurst. I only realised it today. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm missing Bathurst. Oh, well.
Oh, no.
Oh, well. That's all right. I get to call the final round, so that'll be all good anyway. But best of luck over the next 2 weeks, mate. I look forward to seeing how you go, and congratulations on your P2 on the road here tonight.
Yes, thank you for that.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah.
Well, Steph, we have to, just how can we describe Wade Sheedy right now? Apart from how we've already described him, just coming out of the woodwork out of nowhere.
Yeah. Just sort of popped up on the scene and
we called him a Smoky.
Put his stamp on it.
We called him a Smoky, and he's just lit the world on fire.
He has.
We'll drag him in. Mr. Sheedy, we called you Smoky at the start of the practice session before the race based on the fact you got into the shootout. But you've lit the world on fire through this one. We also had a conversation about the fact you have the most cricketing name in the entire field. I don't know if you could comment on that any more than that, but it was a phenomenal effort from yourself. Not only get into the top 10 shootout on your debut, not only to get on the podium on your debut, but to win on your debut here on Tuesday night. Where have you come from just to do this? Because I said to Sean, I don't think I've ever seen either you or him in a league race before, and I'm completely perplexed of what makes you guys up and how you guys have put this together.
Yeah, well, I used to drive Supercars quite a bit all the time, but last probably year or two I haven't really driven them as much, or anywhere near as much, to be honest. So the odd one here and there is good. Guess you sort of don't lose. I'm definitely rusty, but yeah, just to pull away and get the win at the end. I think it was more strategy more than anything.
Does Platinum rust?
Nah.
Well, I don't think you're rusty then, are you?
A little bit.
Oh, well, mate, if this is you rusty, I want to see what you're like at the start of next season, because this was incredible. I mean, me and Steph we were perplexed trying to figure out what is this strategy, how is this played off, and how have you gotten home with ample fuel in the tank of your car?
Yeah, well, I was surprised like no one else around actually went for the pit stop, to be honest. Like, safety car, you can top up and fuel and everyone get that little bit more in the car. At least you can be closer to making it home. But by the time that safety car went around a few times, I'm not sure how many laps it was, but I'm glad it went around that extra lap in the end. And yeah, it was just enough to get home for me. I had to fuel save the whole race, the end there. But yeah, it was good.
I think we worked it out to about, it was probably 10 minutes under the safety car, which was about 4 or 5 laps or so. And I think if, like we spoke to Billy about it as well, if it'd come in a lap earlier, that may have broken the race, just because of, you're able to save for 4 laps, obviously, going on to the safety car, but it's cutting into that crucial race time. It's cutting away 10 minutes. It's turning it into a 70-minute race compared to an 80-minute race. All of a sudden, you need so much less fuel to get home that it really opened the doors for this strategy play, which it's really cool how that can work out. I suppose
Definitely.
The dice rolled in your favour tonight. Next week, Oran Park, not an endurance round, but are you feeling confident going into that one now, starting off so strong in this series here on Tuesday nights?
Oh, due to work, I'm only able to race every second week, so if I'm available. So yeah, it's not something I can jump on every week and just do, unfortunately, for leagues. So it's more just a bit of fun for me.
Oh, mate, we're glad that you're able to join us here and have some fun. That would mean then that your next race would be Bathurst if you're able to make it, which, what a way to make your claim, is start at arguably the 2 biggest Australian tracks on the service. I suppose...
Yeah, I'll have to be there for that one for sure.
Well, I hope you can make it to that one. I mean, I guess I just want to quickly ask you then, before we let you go, what was the attraction to coming into SRW, I guess, and deciding that this is the place you wanted to be on a Tuesday, just to have a bit of fun in a league, in a supercar?
Oh, Sean's finally got his pedals working again. We've got some new ones, so it's been a while since I actually raced with some of the teammates, and he wanted to jump in and race something, and this is what was available at the time, because I think he can only do Tuesday and Wednesdays from memory, so... yeah, just jump in, have a bit of a race with him, and see how we go.
Oh, mate, we're glad you've joined us over here. You've had an exceptional performance on your debut. Let us know who helps get you out on track with Platinum Racing. Anyone else you wish to give a shout out to as well, and for myself and Steph and the rest of the league, congratulations on not only your debut here tonight, but also your first win in the Tuesday night Supercars. It's been an exceptional performance.
Awesome, thanks. Yeah, obviously, yeah, Sean helping us out, actually getting me into the league, and I didn't actually get accepted into the actual league until last minute as well. I did try a race last week, but yeah, didn't quite make it in time. But yeah, Sean for helping me out and throwing me back in the seat, really, that's about it.
Well, mate, it was absolutely awesome to see you out on track for the first time this week. You did incredibly well. I look forward to seeing how you go next time you are with us here on Tuesday nights. Congratulations on your first win this season. Best of luck for the rest of it, whichever races you can make, and hopefully you can join us again next season as well.
No worries, thank you very much.
Thanks, mate.
Wow.
Why is it the most cool, calm, collected drivers in an interview are they're just stoic, they can get it up the front, and they just take a win?
Don't know.
He made it sound easy, didn't he?
He did. He's made it sound too easy. Yeah. Don't know.
What a performance, though. And ladies and gentlemen, this is just the beginning of the week we have on offer for you this week. I mean, so much racing to come for you here on SLW TV. You do not want to miss any of it. Be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe, and the bell icon so you are notified when we go racing this week. Tomorrow night, Cooler Master Super Formula Championship. We've got another F1 Shadow round out at Zandvoort this week. Going to be phenomenal. Thursday night, the 8-6s. Those guys will be heading out to Urschersleben. That should be a great one. Yep. GTDs on Friday night and the Legends for the Friday night double bubble. Legends at 6:20 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. They'll be going racing at Hockenheim Short B Circuit. That'll be fantastic to see. Hopefully you guys will see Steph on track this week for her first round of the Legends. The GTDs will be going around Road America for their round 5 this week with myself and Steph in the comms booth for that one. And then Sunday night we're back here 10 to 7, 6:50 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time to do it all again around Sandown. Another Enduro race with the top 10 shootout on offer with the pro drivers in the field. You do not want to be anywhere else but here for the rest of this week. It is going to be absolutely awesome, ladies and gentlemen, to call the action for you once again. We've got to give a massive shout out to our series sponsors, including our title sponsors, Warren & Brown Tools, for their continued support on the Tuesday Supercars, the Friday GTDs, and the Sunday Supercars as well. We also need to give a big shout out to Cooler Master for picking up the support on the Wednesday night Super Formula Championship, as well as the shout out to Shannon's Insurance for their continued support on the Thursday night GR86 Nationals. We also want to shout out our other series sponsors, NeuroPower, DSL Rail Services, Shunt Scenery, and Groom Industries, the home of the V8 Coffee Table, where you can find it on Prime Video's Top Gear Australia. For myself, Hamish Munro, and Stefanie Piccoli alongside, we appreciate your time, appreciate you being here with us once again. Thanks for stepping in and covering for pseudoed up Steven Sinkovich this week, Steph. Really, really appreciate it. You've done well. But I'll see you guys tomorrow night for Super Formula Championship action at Zandvoort with Hutto with me in the booth. But until then, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
This is amazing. I was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mosca and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to slip on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble's bottle right now because, tell you what, Bruce Tanak and Jamie Dyke just absolutely drove away.